How long you been up? How long you been up? Said since 11. So you just woke up? You just woke up? Said since 11, it's only 12. Did y'all feed the dogs? No. Yo, what it is? Jesus Christ. Let me get you some water, y'all. What's up? Hold on. Everybody take the trash out, huh? You ain't want them chips in there? Right there, there's chips and dip in the refrigerator. Yo, one and only. The real mayhem, what it is. Chloe. Fuck it is, man. We ready to get busy. Oh, shit. That's a brighter light. There we go. We ready to get busy. There we go. Brand name. Oh man, we got a good one today, right? We caught Tisa Towers red-handed, man. Yo, she just did one of the dirtiest moves imaginable. You heard me. Oh, let me feed these dogs, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna believe what Tisa Towers did. Hold on. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna believe Tisa Towers is stooped to a new low. I don't think she can get no lower. I don't think she can really get no lower, but it's definitely low. See y'all one time, man. Here we got Uncle Charlie being the motherfucking Uncle Ruckus, which is not abnormal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Chloe, get ahead. Y'all supposed to did this already, y'all. After I had to come in the house, feed the dogs, y'all. At all. Here. Y'all in here all day. Knowing the dogs gotta eat. Edward Hub Mo made freak offs great again, straight up. Y'all ain't gonna believe what she did. Y'all ain't gonna believe what Tisa Towers did, man. We gotta get to her immediately. Like this was egregious work. Egregious work, y'all. Some of the dirtiest work I ever seen. Oh shit, I gotta take my son these batteries. This nigga been asking me for batteries for 2 days. Hold on. Yo, some of the dirtiest work I ever seen, y'all. And y'all know she done did a lot of dirty work on this internet. So for this to be some of the dirtiest, you can just imagine what the fuck happened. Oh shit. You can just imagine what happened. $2,800, LeVar, what it is? We back, baby. Nah, we do. Man, hit that like button, man. Share it alive, man. You see, they trying to plummet our numbers, man. I guess since we talk about make freak offs great again, they ain't with the make freak off great again movement. Matter of fact, why get my son these batteries? Finna checking out Candace songs for another night. Talking about Epstein. Yeah, I know. I talked about that earlier, man. Rest in peace to Theo, man. That shit crazy. They say he got swept away in the currents.
To arm and train militants in Nicaragua.
He got swept away in the currents.
Nicaragua. And you know who helped facilitate that? The whole Russia through Robert Maxwell, of course. According to Ari Minaj, who was a part of the Iran-Contra scandal and went to prison for it, Robert Maxwell was the person who brokered the lucrative deal between the Mossad and the KGB that allowed the Israelis to hide money from the arms sales to Iran. And Ari Minaj says that Robert Maxwell wanted to involve Epstein in this operation. Ari Minaj says, quote, "What happened was Maxwell introduced Epstein to us. He wanted us to accept him into our group. But despite Maxwell's insistence, Ben Minaj claims that Epstein just wasn't competent. And he wasn't accepted by them. He wasn't accepted by him. He wasn't accepted by Nick Davies, who at that time was the foreign editor of the Daily Mirror. He was also involved in this operation. Man, Daily Mirror is just a whole operation going on there. And so, yeah, they just weren't impressed with him. Nevertheless, Ari Ben-Minaj says that Epstein was, in fact, able to develop close ties with several arms dealers. Again, this was in the 80s. So you can dispel the new media story about him having met Ghislaine in the 90s and then be forming a friendship and nothing at all to do with the Mossad. That's just a lie. It is a lie. And he's able to fashion those relationships, those arm deals relationships since the 80s, particularly with a guy named a British man named Sir Douglas Leese, who was involved in a series of contracts that were known, which we're going to talk about tomorrow, as the Al Yamama deal. Now, we're going to stop there because that's then going to bring in Saudi Arabia. It's going to bring in Adnan Khashoggi. Remember Jamal Khashoggi, just a journalist, all that stuff. Yeah, a little bit more going on there. I don't think he was maybe just a journalist. Certainly Adnan Khashoggi, his father, was in the mix. A lot of players are in the mix. Gosh, we've got already Ukraine, Saudi Arabia, Israel, America, the UK, France. Are you guys starting to understand? We've got Lebanon being told about hostages. You guys starting to understand why they don't want anybody touching the Epstein files? Because the blow up is not just going to have to do with America and American politicians. It is a very, very, very sophisticated network. And by the way, what Trump is saying about it right now, which I'm going to show you after we throw it to our sponsors for a little bit, what he tweeted this morning, yeah, it is looking like some people behind him might be terrified. First, I'm going to tell you guys about Tax Network USA. Tax Network USA proudly believes in freedom, resilience, and financial independence. To mark the occasion, they're offering 10% off all services for a limited time. So if you're dealing with back taxes or you missed the April 15th deadline, don't wait because the IRS is stepping up enforcements fast. Penalties can add up quickly, so up to 5% per month, and they max out sometimes at 25% off your total tax bill just for not filing. That's 15% off 3 products and up to 20% off 5. All right, you guys. So that's a lot. The beginning of this story definitely is starting to sound like a web. Definitely starting to seem like a lot of people are cluing into the fact that maybe there is a global government. Jeffrey Epstein, by the way, was very open and clear about his aims to help facilitate a global government. We'll get to that tomorrow, as his story is just incredible.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform made for anyone with an idea and a drive to bring it to life. Describe what you want and watch it take shape. You can plan, customize, and expand in any direction. From tools built for one to platforms ready for many. From passion projects to enterprise-grade systems. Everything is built in and ready to launch. It's a new world of creation where you can go as far as your imagination
All right,
takes
y'all.
you.
Hit that like button.
Can you imagine?
I want to show you this. Trump tweets this
Robin
today, calling Jeffrey Epstein a Democrat hoax. Did all that? Maybe everything I just shared sounded like a Democrat hoax to you. He wrote on Truth Social, the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying
Not for sale.
from the intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom, and even the Russia scam itself, totally fake and made up story
that's
used in
getting all
order
my
to
shit.
hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit, hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will. Even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years, I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems is a Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking about our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. A lot going on there. He doesn't want the support of anybody who wants to know more about Jeffrey Epstein stuff. That's a pretty big statement.
Robert?
Calling it a Democrat hoax, as we uncovered a couple of days ago, he was arrested during the time when Trump was in power in 2019, that second time. Rather, I think the first time he was arrested back in 2007, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Skylar, was it George Bush was president?
I like Candace Owens. I only don't like Candace Owens when she's talking about black people. When she's talking about government and shit like that, I fucks with her.
Yep, that's correct. And so it doesn't really seem like that might have been a Democrat hoax, given the fact that these were federal charges, and Republicans would have been in charge. And also, I think people from both sides are calling for this. It's not just Republicans or just Democrats that want these files. It's like the first time everyone is together on this. And it's interesting to say, like, we should move on from Jeffrey Epstein in a post where you are also throwing it back to all of these other hoaxes, right? So we get to keep talking about the laptop. We get to keep talking about the Russia hoax, which we fully agree were hoaxes. That's why we were behind you as your supporters, saying these are hoaxes. There is no fire here. There's not even any smoke here. And we followed you. We are that same base of people that have the wherewithal to know when we are looking at a hoax and when we are looking at something that is deeply sinister. You can't just edit our ability to see that, okay? We were clever enough to perceive a hoax then, and we're clever enough to perceive what is clearly not a hoax now. That's what I would say. That's what I would offer back. But Mr. Trump, Mr. President Trump, respectfully, if you'd ever like to come on my podcast, last time we spoke, I'd welcome you to explain in long format how you perceive this to be a hoax.
Sounds right, a bitch.
Particularly, you see as...
So, what's up, kid? Yo, we don't support Charleston White over here. Good vibes. Charleston White is a fuck boy that's sold out, that's being used to push black stereotypes. That's what he is. That's all he could ever be. But y'all want fans? We fans watching Candace on
facilitating that we spoke. I'd welcome you to explain in long format, how you perceive this to be a hoax and who particularly you see as facilitating this hoax. I also invite you to blink twice if you've got some Zionists that are behind you that are making you real nervous to talk about this.
Mr. Sirac, man.
Anyways, Rep. Thomas Massey is one such Republican who is basically saying, nope, we're not getting away with this. You guys are not getting away with that. He has launched a long shot attempt to force a vote on the releasing of the Epstein files. He announced, he announced this on X, that he is going to force a vote on this. And if nothing else, we will at least know who is voting against the release of the Epstein files. Here's what he shared on X. He wrote, we all deserve to know what's in the Epstein files, who is implicated, and how deep this corruption goes. Americans were promised justice and transparency. So we're introducing a discharge petition to force a vote in the U.S. House of Representatives on releasing the complete files. You can see that already has 11,000
you already know.
He then explains a discharge petition is a procedural tool for bypassing leadership. In 7 days, we can start collecting signatures. At 208 on our bill requiring a full release of the Epstein files. If your representative will not sign the discharge petition, ask why. So certainly do that, guys. We'll keep you posted on that. I will throw, when he gets his petition going for signatures, I will get that up and make sure that I'm promoting it because this matters. Like I've said, this matters. All right, you guys, I'm going to get into some of your comments. First, I want to tell you guys a new Shot in the Dark episode is out. It is the introduction to our birth control series. Definitely worth watching. It is entitled...
All right, yo. So, we watched that yesterday. Appreciate it, Leah. We watched that yesterday. So, y'all can tap in on Yesterday Live to get that. We watched, for real, I think most of the video she put out. Yo, well, we got to talk about Tisa Tells, y'all. Yo, Tisa Tells just did some egregious dirty work, y'all. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Look at this. Y'all ain't gonna believe this. Y'all is not gonna believe what she did. Look at this shit. Look at this title. Check this out. Diddy can't be serious. Suing for $50 million. Hey, yo. How long has this information been out there? Yo, we covered this immediately, as soon as it came out. No, you good, Leah. Appreciate it. Shit, anything is cool. I appreciate every donation. Yeah, man. Ain't not for sale. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You see this? Yo, how long have we been saying, yo, why Tisa Tells ain't do a video on Ariel Mitchell getting sued? If she'd have done this video when she was doing the slander campaign on Diddy, her viewers would have known that it wasn't no kids in the situation. Her viewers would have known they'd have known what we know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't even know what she said, y'all, but I gotta see this. I gotta see what she said about that.
Has a better chance of getting into an Ivy League school. First, take a look at Zach. He's valedictorian, National Merit Scholar, and he's president of the debate team. He's
side.
Appreciate
How
it,
can a man that admitted that he would dress up in a burqa from the face up and booty butt, stop, hold positions for hours while he diddled, make them stop, usually lay hands on and feet on, say, I need to talk.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta hear how she characterized this. Yo, I can't believe she did this, y'all. Yo, we covered this months ago. Months ago. This was the biggest information that come out about Diddy right here. Diddy sued Ariel Mitchell for $50 million for lying on multiple social media platforms. For lying. Yo, we covered this. Yo, how long ago was it we covered this, y'all? We've been covering it a lot. But we originally covered this story like, I think it was January. In January, we covered this story. Now here it is, the end of July. The fucking, yo, it's the end of July, and she finally covering this, right? And I'm sure she gonna make a mockery of it, yo. But this lawsuit was a precursor to everything you seen in the motherfucking trial. If she'd have covered this lawsuit a while ago, that Diddy dealing with kids shit would have been disappeared because it wasn't real. This lawsuit proved that it wasn't real, but she never covered it. She waited till the trial over to cover it.
Tyson Beckford, yes, that Tyson Beckford is letting us know that he could have been the superhero.
And then she wonder why niggas like me call her a liar. You know what I mean? She wonder why people like me call her a liar. Because, Tisa, you seen this information. You got sources. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me Tisa tells and her sources didn't stumble across this document? But I did. Me and my sources did. Y'all know I got sources. If you're new to the channel, y'all just know I got sources. You know what I mean? I got legal sources. I got sources close to the situation. And I got, what is it? Legal sources close to the situation. Yo, what's the other sources we got, y'all? They legal sources. We got sources close to the situation. Just know we got sources, yo, and they credible. You know what I mean? We got sources just like she got sources. Keep it Diddy news. Yeah, man, crazy. Yo, this lawsuit, I want to see how she read this off.
We didn't know we needed back in the 90s because he was about to take Diddy off this earth. And baby, that was a canon moment. That was a canon moment. Let's get into this, okay? First of all, let's talk about Diddy. The way
we got anonymous sources too, y'all. Can't forget about the anonymous sources.
Diddy is out here suing people. I think Diddy feels like he's gonna get all his lawyers' fees back by
we do that. Yeah, that's what it is. We got cyber sources, legal sources, street sources, anonymous sources, and government sources. So just to let you know, anything I say is 100% accurate because my sources never lie. They haven't misled us yet. Only thing my sources got wrong is when they told me they was going to get Tisa Tells and the Diddy freak off. That's the only thing we got wrong. You know what I mean? She declined the invitation. You can't blame me. You blame my sources for that. But we tried.
I'm sure he's looking for a way to sue the federal government. It will not work. Get this, okay? Diddy's lawyer, listen, Diddy is suing $50 million. He's suing for $50 million, saying that a lawyer suing him for alleged freak-offs ruined his reputation. Now, can I just say this?
Yo, she's lying. That's not what that paperwork say. Yo, that's not what that paperwork say. Yo, we read that paperwork. Y'all know we read it several times. Yo, that paperwork don't say nothing about no free. See, yo, this is the shit that she do, y'all. Y'all that follow her need to start making her put the paperwork on the screen, man. Start making her put the paperwork on the screen. Stop letting, that's why if y'all notice, I always says, yo, we don't never paraphrase. We don't never paraphrase. We always show the paperwork. That paperwork don't say nothing about no motherfucking freak offs. That paperwork is about Ariel Mitchell and the little fat dude that looked like TD Jakes going on multiple platforms, insinuating that they had hard drives, insinuating that they had sex tapes, insinuating that Diddy was fucking with minors. It ain't got shit to do with no motherfucking freak offs. That's why people say she lying, man. Nah, I don't know. I like Tissa Tells. Tissa Tells is one of my favorite people on the internet. She just don't tell the truth. I like Tissa Tells, man. Yeah, man, I try to get in the freak off. What more? The fuck that lets you know I like her. I try to get her and Diddy linked up. You know, per my sources. That's close to the situation. I fuck with Tisa Tells, but she lies, man. She lies. And you see what she doing now? Yo, we talked about her the other day. Her name ain't even Corinne Stephens no more. It's Caroline Parker or some shit like that. She tried to sue for freaking off in the 90s. The early fucking leg leak. She tried to sue for freaking off in the early 2000s. Like saying, yo, no, we not doing that, yo. No, that shit ain't cool. She knew what she was doing. She knew she was getting passed around by the industry. That name was fucking Superhead. You can't then come back and say you was sexually manipulated. No, the fuck, you got what you wanted. Like, we gotta stop letting people do that, man. Yo, she just lied in this paperwork, y'all. If y'all want me to, I can go back and read the paperwork. If you support Tisa Tells, start making her post the paperwork. Stop paraphrasing it. Because that's what these people do. They paraphrase the paperwork so they can tell you anything. They read a little bit of the facts and then spin it. So now you left with a false perception of what's really going on. Shit, that paperwork say nothing about no goddamn freak offs. Freak offs is not in that paperwork, not one time. Diddy suing her for defamation. For defamation. For lying. This girl got on multiple platforms and said that her and her client gave the feds video footage of Diddy having sexual intercourse with kids and other celebrities. It wasn't true. It wasn't true. Hey, Leah, that's cool. As long as you can, because I like her for entertainment. You know what I mean? She's very entertaining. I always say that, yo, Tisa Tells is great at what she do. She's very entertaining. She just don't tell the truth. You know what I mean? And people go to her and think they're getting the truth because they didn't because, and the reason I say that is because they come over here where we are telling the truth and they're debaters and be dead wrong because some shit Tisa Tells done said. I'll show you the paperwork if y'all ain't seen it. I know everybody over here that been here, we done read that bitch about 3-4 times. Because it's egregious to see the things that this woman did. Like, that was dirty. I don't even know how you characterize what she did, man. And she ain't the only one. Jaguar Wright does it. Jane Dale does it. Tisa Tells does it. Like, that's fucked up, yo. The lie on a man and slander a man in that manner, man. What's up, Davon? Let me go back, because I did have a talk. People probably forgot what she said.
He's suing for $50 million, saying that a lawyer suing him for alleged freak-offs ruined his reputation. Now,
what she did, Ashley, was, you see this title? Diddy can't be serious. Suing for $50 million. Diddy suing this girl. This paperwork is from January. This paperwork showed everybody that this narrative of children, this narrative of other celebrities wasn't real. It wasn't real. She never covered it. She waited till after the trial to cover this. But if she'd have covered this before the trial, her viewers would have knew that the trial was bogus and bullshit. Her people would have knew that it wasn't no kids involved. Her people would have knew that it wasn't no celebrities involved. Because it was all in paperwork. And then we ain't even let her get through it because we're only 1 minute in. And even with her still reading the paperwork, she's still mischaracterizing it. Man, they need to see the socks off this girl. But he's not. I'm going to tell you why. He probably won't. Because she's reading paperwork. She's just reading it with a spin. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say that, it's defamation when this is real paperwork, but she just spinning the narrative. I mean, he might can get her, but he probably ain't a whole bunch of money there.
can I just say this? And it needs to be said. If there's any kiddies or old people or grannies in the room, please have them cover your ears and go outside. How can a man that admitted that he would dress up in a burqa from the face up.
Now that I use Monday service, AI makes
What's up,
solving
Joe
tickets
Jack?
my form of meditation.
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe if y'all new, yo, because we ready to go in. Charleston White next on the table.
But booty
Now we're
butt,
gonna go
booty
to
butt
Jane Dale
naked from the
first.
face down.
Then Charleston
Dressed up as a
White.
burqa, sit in the corner diddling himself while he had trains ran on whatever woman he tricked into thinking was his girlfriend. Okay? And in the middle
you
of
right,
that,
you right, Joe.
he would make them stop, hold positions for hours while he diddled, make them stop, usually lay hands on and feet on, say, I need to talk to you a second because you need to.
Yo, she just spin the narrative, yo. Yo, this paperwork ain't got shit to do with Cassie. Yo, yo, come on, Tisa. Yo, this fucked up, yo. Yo, this is messed up, y'all. Yo, this paperwork, this lawsuit don't have nothing to do with Cassie. Why is she spinning this lawsuit into the criminal trial? And trying to say that Diddy did these things in the criminal trial, but this lawsuit is about Kim Porter. This lawsuit is about her saying that they got tapes of Diddy with children. That's what this lawsuit is about. I can take y'all to it, man. Nah, yo, that's fucked up though, Canada. That's fucked up. If everybody just start doing shit because they can, yo, it'd be a fucked up world we living in. You know what I mean? Imagine if everybody had the mind frame of Canada and just did shit because they can. You know what I mean? If I just decide to rob Canada every Monday just because I can, would that be right? Would that be cool? If I was just sit outside the house every Monday and I'm just going to wait for you to come out and rob your motherfucking ass, I'd be justified just because I can and I wanted to? Come on, yo, stop being stupid, man. Still gotta have some level of morality, man.
You need to exert your control and show your masculinity. I guess there's nothing more masculine than hiding in the corner under a burqa, naked. Okay, fine. And then drag the woman into the room, sometimes laying hands and feet on her, then proceed to take the sloppy seconds, if you will. And then when that was over,
yo, this is crazy, yo. I can't believe she doing this. Yo, this is unbelievable, y'all. Hey, Joe Jack, you said we read that paperwork, weren't you? Weren't you here when we read this lawsuit? Yo, why is she connecting this lawsuit to Cassie and Jane Doe? So she trying to discredit the lawsuit by saying Diddy put his hands on Cassie. Yo, that's crazy, y'all. She terrible for that.
Seconds, he would grab whatever make the woman grab what was ever inside the liquids that the Smex worker left, and rub it on his Diddy's chesticles. Again, I have to stop now before I get my whole channel demonetized. But I think what I am trying to say is, I think what I'm trying to say is Diddy, what reputation is what I'm trying to say, but let's get into this, all right? Because Ariel Mitchell said, Diddy, you couldn't try this with Janice Combs. You better get out of my face. Let's get this, all right? They're saying that Ariel Mitchell asked a judge to dismiss Diddy's $50 million lawsuit, citing the federal seizure of alleged tapes as validation. They said Diddy is facing a new legal hurdle in his $50 million defamation lawsuit after Miami-based attorney Ariel Mitchell asked a federal judge to dismiss the case. Ariel, who appeared on News Nation segment with Courtney Burgage, is accused by Diddy of helping spread what Diddy calls outrageous lies about his alleged involvement in Smex crimes. The lawsuit, filed in January, also names Courtney Burgage and Nexstar Media, owner of News Nation, as co-defendants.
Why she didn't cover this in January? Like I told y'all, the paperwork came out in January. We covered it in January. So she didn't cover that. She's covering Ariel Mitchell's response. she covered her response. This girl got caught red-handed lying. That girl that interviews and said she handed tapes over to the feds and lied. She didn't have no tapes over there. She didn't have any tapes. She said she seen Diddy on tapes with another individual that was more known than him. Y'all remember it? I can take y'all back to it. All of that shit was lies. This lawsuit ain't getting dismissed.
Diddy thinks he's going to get all his legal fees back by suing these people. Berger said during an interview that he received 11 flash drives from the late Kim Porter, which he said contained videos of celebrities participating in freak-offs involving minors.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what...
Yeah, you remember, Carly. All that shit was a lie. It all was a lie.
He also said he had 54 pages from Porter's memoirs, which Porter's kids said were fake. Now, I do want to point out that even though the kids said, but seriously, is anybody going to ask, how are you suing for Kim's diary and intellectual property when you're saying it doesn't exist?
What the fuck she cut out? Why she cut that part out? What she was ready to say? What the fuck she was ready to say, right? Say she was ready to say something interesting and cut it out.
Then you're saying it wasn't really a book, it might have been notes. Anyway, we'll get to the bottom of this, okay? He says he has 54 pages. Now, these 54 pages could have been printed out from anywhere. Ariel's attorney, Stephen A. Metcalf, argued that her appearance on the program did not include any defamatory statements, and her role as an attorney shields her from liability.
What?
They said in addition to performing her role as an attorney for matters involving the preparation of litigation or for pending litigation, such as vicarious attributions concerning defendant Mitchell, violate First Amendment principles. Okay. Yeah, they're doing the Alex Burrow.
Yeah, I told y'all, Ariel Mitchell need a place to stay, y'all. If anybody wanna, house Ariel Mitchell, hit her on Instagram. Tell her Keep It G News sent you, because she's gonna need a place to stay because she's gonna lose this lawsuit. She's gonna lose this lawsuit. I guarantee you. Now, I don't know about this because she's a lawyer, she's not liable for prosecution. Like, I don't even never heard that before. So that means she can just lie on a motherfucker?
To sue lawyers for representing people because they realize they can't stop everybody from suing, so they're going to try to scare lawyers against from representing people. Again, I'm confused, Diddy, how this helped you. I don't know. They said Mitchell.
It would have helped if you'd have read this shit in January. If you'd have read it in January, it would have helped a lot. What the fuck are you talking about? If you'd have read it in January, when the lawsuit was filed, it would have helped a lot. It would have helped people understand what was really going on, instead of going into the trial thinking it was something that it wasn't.
Cannot be said to have acted with reckless disregard for the truth. Photos and videos were produced, leading to a federal subpoena on this specific material, and the government or members of the Southern District acted in a manner to take possession of said materials, and thus the government essentially vouched for its existence of said materials. Diddy has denied all allegations, this, that, and the third. Anyway, they also said that Ariel Mitchell's lawyer stated that there was no way she could defame Diddy, given the salacious and wild testimony produced by several witnesses during Diddy's trial. And we all know that's true. They said the evidence elicited at trial was extreme to the point where any living person's reputation would be affected from such. While I salute his criminal defense team, the fact relevant here is there are countless other individuals with actual sexual allegations against Diddy, with a statement Ariel Mitchell made.
That is fucking irrelevant. That ain't got shit to do with what the fuck this girl did.
Pales in comparison.
Yeah, it is what they doing.
Listen, 100%. But really quick, I don't want to hold y'all, but listen.
Why she keep adding?
Couple of things. Diddy, shut up. Shut up.
She knows she's next. That's why.
Kanye. I get it. I get it. But the fact that Diddy was found not guilty does not mean he's innocent.
But there she go again, y'all. There she go, mixing truths. Let me go to the lawsuit. There she go, mixing shit up again. Do I already got it up? Hopefully I did.
Most of the guests that we have on don't have a story like yours. Can you tell us the story of that troubling day?
I am inside my shop, the door's open, and I hear this guy yell.
And
Hold up, y'all. Let me go to that lawsuit. For people that's new. Y'all gotta hear this lawsuit. Blatant lies. And she keep trying to. And that's what they did the whole trial though. The whole slander campaign. They mixed up the truth. They mixed Diddy parties with Diddy freak-offs. They still running the same campaign. Like maybe that's just a trick in media. I don't play those games though, man. I don't play those games. I'd rather just keep that shit real. It's easier. Sleep much better at night. Just keeping that shit real. The things that came out in trial is totally separate than what Ariel Mitchell did on this motherfucking platform. I can't believe she did this, y'all. She really read the rebuttal to the lawsuit that was put out in January, but never read the lawsuit that was put out in January. I think here you go right here. No Diddy superseding indictment. Here you go. Y'all know we read this a million times. I ain't even gonna read the whole thing because I read it a million times already. Alright, look. Can y'all see this? Is this clear? Can y'all see this? It say this case is about defendants' willful scheme to fabricate and broadcast outrageous lies concerning Mr. Combs, and then to leverage those falsehoods to gain social media fame, enrich themselves, and strip Mr. Combs of his reputation, livelihood, and right to a fair trial. Social media propagandists, including but not limited to defendant Burgess and Mitchell, have for months been fueling a media frenzy, fabricating outlandish claims and stirring up baseless speculation about Mr. Combs, vowing to outdo each other in a shameless competition to draw attention to themselves with no regard for the truth. In this pitiful spectacle, all pretense of objectivity has been abandoned as the global audience feasts on an all-you-can-eat buffet of wild lies and conspiracy theories. Yo, if she'd have read this to her supporters, everybody would have been on the same page we was on, y'all. Defendants are among the worst perpetrators in this offensive scenario. They eagerly court every opportunity to broadcast blatant falsehoods, pretending they have proof that Mr. Combs engaged in heinous acts, knowing that no such proof exists. As a result, millions of people have come to believe in the made-up evidence that the defendant had falsely described and vouched for. The torrent of lies and the immeasurable harm and prejudice it is causing Mr. Combs must stop. Defendant Burgess falsely claimed that he possessed videos of Mr. Combs involved in the sexual assault of celebrities and minors. Burgess repeated these false claims many times to anyone who would listen, including reporters for major news outlets, including News Nation, which recklessly repeated and amplified his lies as if they were true. Thus, Burgess' baseless lies were rebroadcast on social media and traditional media platforms that reach millions of viewers in the United States and abroad. His attorney, Mitchell, repeated those lies. Like Burgess, Mitchell knew that her client's claims were false, or at minimum was utterly reckless in disregarding their falsity, because no such tapes exist, and because Mitchell never saw any video depicting Mr. Combs sexually abusing anyone, adult or minor. Mitchell many claims assertion that Burgess possessed such videos were either knowingly blatantly falsehoods or recklessly false statements made as the direct result of Mitchell's inexcusable failure to investigate her client's outrageous lies. Burgess peddled his false and defamatory statements about Mr. Combs to promote himself on social media. Mitchell did the same. Both seek to capitalize off the resulting publicity for financial gain. Together, Burgess and Mitchell and News Nation caused profound reputational and economic injury and severe prejudice to Mr. Combs. In this action, Mr. Combs seek money damages, including punitive damages, for the harm of the defendants' false and defamatory statements have caused. Yo, they told wild lies, man. Wild lies. The whole interview was lies. During the interview, Atwood posted still images that he, his co-host Tammy Scoville, and Burgess insinuated had come from the videos that Burgess falsely claimed Kim Porter had provided to him. They described one as depicting Justin Bieber, a famous recording artist, kissing an unidentified male. Atwood asked, "Is this picture legit?" Burgess responded, yes, definitely. Schofield ventured a guess as to the identity of the unidentified male, speculated that this is one of those music execs because, allegedly, a lot of these guys, that's what they're in. They're weirdos like the rest of them. Having labeled all music industry executives as weirdos, Schofield then asked Burgess, "How freaked out were you the first time you looked at some of these images? Shock or what?" Burgess responded that he was freaked out because my daughter was a listener of Justin Bieber. You understand? Burgess stated that Bieber was a child at the time. Burgess characterized Bieber as a victim who loved being treated like that. And that's what happens sometimes when you're a kid. Burgess went on to compare Mr. Combs to Lucifer, claiming that Mr. Combs, like Lucifer, destroyed bodies. He destroyed careers. He could get you where you want to be at, but you're going to have to give up the back end. Yo, this was terrible work, y'all. Burgess, Atwood, and Schofield also commented on the images that appeared to depict Mr. Combs with his arm around an adult woman's shoulder. Despite the absence of any indication in the image of untoward conduct, Burgess suggested that the woman was underage. I think they're about 18 right there. She looks about 18. Following up on Burgess' comments, Schofield falsely suggested that the photo evidence sexual misconduct with minors. Yeah, it's just disturbing how the number of people who appear to be underage in all this. I think that's probably what they're going to see on these superseding indictments. We never seen that on the superseding indictments. It gotta be, man. It's just coming back to the underage thing again, and again. It's terrifying. Burgess and Schofield's statements about these images on Atwood Unleashed broadcast were specifically and maliciously intended to convince viewers falsely that Burgess possessed, and Atwood and Schofield had seen evidence that Mr. Combs had engaged in sexual abuse of celebrities and minors, even though they knew those claims were false when they made them. On the same broadcast, Burgess insinuated falsely that talking about Mr. Combs in a fake memoir and videos put his life in danger. Burgess also describes his efforts to market the fake memoir on Amazon, which initially gave the ghoulish title Kim's Lost Words. After the book was denounced by Miss Porter family and others as fake, Amazon pulled the volume from his website. Subsequently, Burgess marked another equally false and defamatory version of the book titled Kim Porter, Tell It All, on a different website. Burgess described the second version as R-rated, in contrast earlier to the PG version of the fake memoir. Upon information to believe sometime in or around September 24, Burgess contacted Mitchell, seeking to team up with a lawyer in an attempt to legitimize or profit from the outrageous lies. Mitchell is a civil litigator at her named law firm. On her firm website, she boasts that her practice focuses on high-profile cases, including claims of sexual assault perpetrated by celebrities. So they go into all the lawsuits she lost and all the fake claims that she put on people. Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Diddy. Look, presumably referencing Burgess or one of his affiliates, Mitchell continued. One particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became public knowledge. Mitchell described the request as a catch and kill, and stated that Mr. Combs is in the tape with another person who was, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Mitchell falsely confirmed that the video exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if the person in the video. And I can tell you that the video is pornographic in nature. With no evidentiary support, the News Nation hosts, speaking about Mr. Combs, home, then said to Mitchell, it sounded like there were probably a lot of hidden cameras as well. That's where everybody got that false narrative from. Mitchell falsely confirmed this, and then further stated, based on her review of the supposed false evidence, it doesn't seem like the person knows they're being videotaped. It's like they're being surreptitiously recorded. The statements were false. Mitchell never possessed pornographic images involving Mr. Combs and any celebrity, was never able to confirm the existence of any such video of Mr. Combs, was never in possession to confirm that any celebrity was surreptitiously recorded in a sex act with Mr. Combs, and thus knew or recklessly disregarded that her statements were false when he made them. Yo, this is fucked up, yo. Tissa tells lies. That's her name. That's her name. This lawsuit, you saw when we just watched the video, she tried to tie this lawsuit and convince people that the lawsuit that Diddy got on this girl is fabricated because of what happened at trial. This lawsuit ain't got shit to do with the trial. It got everything to do with the media firestorm and the lies that was created about the trial. It's a difference. Mitchell also told News Nation on the broadcast about other clients, a woman who alleged that Mr. Combs sexually assaulted her in Northern California in 2018. This client's allegations are also false. Mitchell falsely represented that her client fabricated claims were corroborated, even though Mitchell knew they were not. Specifically, Mitchell stated, "We also have a police report that was made in 2018. Later in the interview, the host repeated Mitchell's assertion, emphasizing about a purported police report. You guys actually have one? The host then asked, are we going to be able to see it? Mitchell falsely confirmed that she would produce the report. She answered the host, yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court. I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. These statements in which Mitchell claimed to possess a police report corroborating her client's fabricated allegations were false, and Mitchell knew they was false when she made them. Roughly 2 weeks after the News Nation broadcast, Mitchell filed the lawsuit she had previewed. Contrary to her false assertions, the lawsuit did not attach any police report. Subsequently, the Walnut Creek Police denied having any involvement in the allegations made by Mitchell's client. The Contra Costa County Sheriff's Office released a statement that they had thoroughly investigated the accusations and determined the claims were unfounded. Now look at this. For example, on or about October 31st, 2024, Burgess and Mitchell appeared on News Nation Banfield's show. Upon information and belief at News Nation Studio in New York, also broadcast on YouTube, the host introduced the interview by announcing that Burgess just testified before a federal grand jury. He was in possession of a trove of digital evidence of Diddy freak-offs and parties. His name is Courtney Burgess, and he says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter, Diddy's ex-girlfriend and mother of his 4 kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos feature 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were male, 2 were female. Those went on to note that because the 8 people in the videos, the 8 celebrities in the videos were allegedly victims of sex crimes, we know who they are, but we will not be naming them, famous or not. This statement was false, and the News Nation host knew it was false, or at minimum recklessly disregarded whether the statements were true or false because she had never seen such videos because they do not exist. During the broadcast, Burgess and Mitchell confirmed that Burgess had been subpoenaed to a federal grand jury in Manhattan. In response to the host's questioning, Burgess falsely stated that all 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relationship with Sean Combs, 2 or 3, possibly 3, appeared to be minors, all appeared inebriated, and all, to be honest, were victims of sexual assault. Burgess also repeated his false statements about the fake memoir. The host asked him, do you know if the notes from the book really were from Kim Porter? Burgess responded, yes, because I spoke to her probably like 6 hours before I received it. In another interview, Burgess claimed that federal law enforcement seized the flash drives from his home. This too was false. On October 7, 2024, Mitchell also falsely claimed that she had done research indicating that baby oil may be used as a conduit for transmitting drugs mixed into the oil to another person for the purpose of incapacitating them. Mitchell suggested, moreover, that Mr. Combs did this to one of her clients, i.e. mixed drugs with baby oil and doused her client with it, thereby lowering her defenses. That statement was a lie. Mitchell performed no such research. Even if she had, there is no scientific basis for asserting that baby oil can be used to infuse with drugs to incapacitate anyone. Again, Mitchell knew or should have known that her statements were false when she made them. Mitchell made statements throughout the interview that were unambiguously intended to convince viewers not only that Burgess was telling the truth, but also he had independently corroborated his claims and was vouching for him. Mitchell made similar statements on or about the same day as Banfield YouTube broadcast during a separate interview she and Burgess gave outside Federal District Court in Manhattan. In that interview, the reporter asked, "I know you can't mention celebrities per se. You did mention some in the interview. So just to clarify, you can back that up with actual footage?" Mitchell responded, "We have. Yeah. It's things that we have." Mitchell intended this statement to convince viewers that Burgess' falsely claims about Mr. Combs were true, even though she knew or recklessly disregarded at the time that the claims were false. In her shameless pursuit to spotlight, Mitchell repeated these lies in a documentary, The Making of a Bad Boy, that aired on NBC streaming platform Peacock on January 14, 2025. In that documentary, Mitchell endorsed the ludicrous allegations of her client Burgess, stating that Burgess has done interviews where he purported to own several flash drives that included sex tapes with 8 distinct individuals, including A-list celebrities and Diddy, all engaged in sex. He believes that these people were intoxicated and that they may have not known they were being recorded. Then explicitly endorsing Burgess' known lies as truth, Mitchell added, and Courtney ultimately handed over the videos to the federal government. These statements were completely false. Mitchell knew these statements were false because no such video has ever been turned over to the government because no such video exists. This is dirty work, y'all. This was the dirtiest work I've seen on the fucking internet. And she dead wrong for covering this like that. Dead wrong. She's going to forever be known as Tissa Tells Lies. Forever. Rest of her life. All the fuck she do. Let's check on a disgruntled employee before we get to Charleston White. We got a disgruntled employee over here. Jane Dale, still being disgruntled. Hey y'all, and for people that just tapped in, we found out that Jane Dale is responsible for the death of Biggie. We just found that out.
Same old phone?
Like last week.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, man. October 3rd, man. We're going to find out if Diddy do time or not. But I do want to ask you, how you feel about this program that he enrolled into?
Well, the programs that they put him in is because of he's getting close to release or he may be released. So the Bureau of Prisons for the federal government has to give him a program based on his crime that he committed.
Yo, there he go lie. Yo, can they stop asking these niggas? Yo, Diddy ain't in prison. Diddy's not in prison, Gene. The programs that Diddy taking is voluntary. And it's good that he's taking these programs because it look good in front of court. So the title of this video is Gene Deal Goes Off on Diddy Entering Rehab in Prison. That's any great lawyer or good lawyer will tell you to do that before sentencing. That was smart. It's beneficial. Why is niggas going off on him for doing that? And that's what you're supposed to do. And he's not in prison. He's in jail, Jane. It's a difference. Fuck boy.
He did commit a crime. He is going to jail for committing a crime, but the time is going to be based on his pre-sentence report. So now, in the pre-sentence report that the probation officers, the federal probation officer do, they go by the history. If he had any criminal history, they go by the criminal history. They go by the history, the crime. They go by what the victim statements and all that. And they do this report that they submit to the judge. And submitting that report to the judge is going to have what they believe based on the guidelines of the prison system, the guidelines of the correctional sets up based on what the time he'll do based on the crime.
Yo, they gotta stop doing this, yo. Stop interviewing niggas that don't know shit. Like, yo, please, yo. Somebody reach out to all the dialogue, real life street stars, all the niggas. Yo, stop interviewing niggas and asking them questions and they don't know shit. All you doing at that point is just pushing false narratives, man. Like, these niggas is misleading thousands. You know what I mean? Daily, it's thousands or millions of people being misled on the internet, yo, because these guys choose fuckery over realism. You know what I mean? They choosing to highlight fuckery. Yo, it's people that can really explain this. I can really explain it. You understand what I'm saying? You can bring people on this platform that can really explain what's going on. And people get an understanding instead of just being misled. You understand? Like, yo, there's misleading people with lies, man. Jane Dale don't know shit about law. Stop asking about the shit. He don't know anything. The nigga's fucking airhead. He's just the same dumbass nigga that when Biggie got killed, he the lead of security, and he tell one car, yo, run 3 lights. He don't relay that to Biggie and them. He don't relay that to the car behind. He get in one car and say, yo, run 3 lights. And then wonder why they ain't running light with him. Bitch, we ain't know what the fuck, nigga. We thought y'all probably was going somewhere. Ain't nobody know the fuck you was going at. That's why it's his fault Biggie died. He blew the light. Hey, instead of busting his gun, he blew the light. You bitch. That's why he can't sleep at night. Out here blowing the light when niggas' lives in jeopardy. Nigga crazy.
Now, the crime, and let's get this straight, the crime that he committed is based on the Mann Act. And that ranged anywhere from probably 22 to 54 months. Probably 22 to 54 months.
This nigga, yo. Yo, Diddy is facing 15 to 27 months, yo. That's it. Probation is not off the table. Yo, you cannot justify giving Diddy nowhere near 50-something months. He's a 0-point offender, found guilty on non-violent offenses. Like, yo, there's no way you can get that man no motherfucking 50-something months, yo. If Diddy get 50-something months, yo, that judge is gonna be investigated. That shit might go to the Supreme Court. Yo, his is gonna roll. I promise you. Let the judge do that. Watch what happens afterwards.
Months, and they're not gonna probably run that
What's
shit consecutive. You understand?
What's up, person?
They probably run it concurrent with each other because he got 2 crimes. He committed those 2 crimes. So now, and like I said, he did commit a crime. You know what I'm saying? All these cats out here, you know, rapping and raving and talking about, you know, he beat the RICO, he beat that. If you go back, and I would love for you to do this, go back and see what I said. I said, if they get a verdict before the 4th,
yo, there he go.
We won't get no RICO or...
There he go. No, bitch. No, we not doing that, yo. We not doing that. Yo, these people they'll do 700 interviews. Yo, if I make 700 wild claims, I'm gonna get something right. Believe that. The fucking law of average say you gonna get something right. That's like, yo, you ain't never had to play basketball in your life. If you shoot 1,000 3-pointers, you gonna make one of them bitches. You feel me? Like, you can't then say that I'm a ball player now. You feel me? You can't say I know how to hoop. No, bitch, you still a bum. You feel me? You just shot 1,000 shots and you made 6. But you still a bum. Like, you can't say you right, Jane Dale, when you done made 7,000 wild allegations. You know what I mean? Eventually, you got to say something that makes sense. You run out of lies eventually. There's only so many lies you can tell, man. You feel me? like eventually you're gonna run out of lies. Eventually you're gonna say something that, oh shit, I was right. Bitch, you was wrong. You was wrong from the beginning. You're wrong now. Ain't nothing you said was right. Jaguar Wright tried to do that shit yesterday on the live. You remember what I said? Yo, what the fuck did you say, Jag? You said a whole bunch of shit that ain't come true. So you get one thing right, and you want a motherfucker pat on the back. Man, get the fuck out. They need a kick in their ass. You don't get no pat on the back. You get kicked in your ass for that.
No racketeering and none of that. You understand?
Joke need to watch me.
We got a verdict before the 4th. But let me finish telling you about the Bureau of Prison. He has, I think, a prostitution charge or whatever. And then having that prostitution charge, you understand the prostitution, I don't know, was it for what, transferring or soliciting prostitution or whatever like that, whatever it may be, he's going to have to do what they call
what they call it, Jane?
A sex, probably a sex abuse or some kind of sex abuse treatment program. You understand? Because
you have to do that in prison. In prison. And it's not even guaranteed. That have to be sanctioned by the judge. The judge can choose to make that a part of his sentence, or he can choose not. What Diddy is doing is getting ahead of it just in case. He's getting ahead of it. So he can say, look, judge, I already got these things done. Like, yo, this man don't know shit, yo. Like, yo, this be frustrating me, man. How many people watch this nonsense? How many people watch this nigga live and don't know what the fuck he is? 40,000 people watch this nonsense. 40,000 people just got misled because Jane Dale don't know shit about what he talking about. Now, I mean, it probably ain't the whole 40,000 because some people know he full of shit, but it's a large percentage.
Because of the violence he did, and he wasn't guilty of that, but they brought it up in the court.
You gotta
and the
make sure
judge knew it. They had tapes and everything that they seen him beating the shit out of Cassie. People coming and saying he beat other people, did all kind of crazy shit to other people. So what they're gonna do is they're going to look at that and they're going to give him a domestic violence course. And because of the drug treatment, because they caught drugs on him, they caught drugs in his house.
Yeah, they're going to
give him a drug treatment program. You know, all those programs is going to be based, and that's why he's doing the program. Because if he said, yo, I ain't doing no program and stuff like that, the judge would have been looking at him like, oh, you ain't doing no program? You ain't doing the programs? Okay, I got...
Stupid. This nigga crazy. Yeah, at this point, these programs is voluntary, man. Any good lawyer will tell you that. Yo, but look, hey, Lord, J. Dale knows everything but say nothing. You feel me? That nigga, I told you, J. Dale was Stevie Wonder in the flesh. That nigga hears everything but sees nothing, yo. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, the nigga, he must be blind. Or maybe Jane Dale is legally blind. Because he ain't see shit. But he know that boy is working. Don't you know how, like, when you lose one sense, another sense enhances? Like, that's Jane Dale. Jane Dale was blind, y'all. I'm sorry that to tell y'all this. Maybe, I don't know if y'all can tell. But he got great ears. That nigga can hear from a mile away. But he can't see shit. He never seen nothing. If he seen things, maybe his dumb ass, maybe they'd use his testimony. Bluffing ass nigga.
That's something for your ass. So those programs that he's doing is so he could appease the judge, so he can help either with the sentencing or
yeah, you're right. That is true too, Hotmo. He don't even have to do them programs. He definitely just max out and say fuck them programs because people do it all the time. People do 5 on 5. Yeah, man. I'm not working. I ain't doing no program. I'm just gonna do my time and come on. That's a fact, Hotmo.
Sir. Now, based on all that and the programming and stuff like that, even if he does the program and stuff like that, the prosecution is still gonna say, yo, listen to me. Okay, he did the program, he did that, but this is how much time and more time than somebody else who had the same kind of crime. This is how much time they did. Because if you notice, the judge asked Ignite the
Now,
fairway.
this nigga, y'all. This nigga don't know shit about law, yo. Ask that nigga about Biggie. Yo, Gene Deal should be doing. We want to know why you blew the light. Like, he needs to do a detailed video on blowing a light. Because that's all the fuck he ever did in his life is ran 3 lights. I mean, he ain't bust his gun. Nigga, you let the biggest rapper in the world get killed on your watch. Nigga, you need to shoot back, nigga. Why are we listening to this guy? We shouldn't be listening to this guy, yo. He let the biggest rapper in the world get murdered, and he ain't bust his gun, man. He's a bodyguard. That's what he said he is, you know, by definition. But then you come to find out that he really was a resource officer. He really was one of them guys at the middle school at the metal detector. That's what he did, yo, when he couldn't get no job and he blamed Diddy. That nigga's working the best. That nigga was a motherfucking meter maid. Bitch, you'll never work in this city again.
A record court cases of people getting time for this. So you know what the defense is going to do? They're going to come up the least amount of time that people got for this Mann Act charge. So now you got the prosecution. They're going to put in the most time that somebody got
be like, fuck that
who
shit.
did this thing, who did this crime. So now the judge going to look at the programming, look at the pre-sentence report, and decide what kind of time he's going to get him.
Man,
but
to the
all that programming that he's doing, all criminals.
Yeah, man.
Anybody
45 minutes away,
jail,
man. Motherfucking
if it's for drug dealers, they go to jail. Some of them don't even use drugs, but they take a drug class. They take the drug courses so it can look good on their record when they go in front of the probation and they go back in front of the judge. If they did a domestic violence, they take the domestic violence course. They take the domestic violence course so that when they go back in the judge, you know, he said, okay, they took a domestic violence course. And 9 times out of 10, any course that they take, they're going to refer them out for treatment.
It ain't about don't like Puff, though. Like, I can see if he was telling the truth, man. Like, yo, telling the truth ain't hating. You know what I mean? If Gene Deal was telling the truth, I wouldn't have no problem with Gene Deal. But once he blamed Diddy for getting fired and not being able to work no more because he was head of security when Biggie died, I ain't got no respect for y'all. Nigga, you take accountability, nigga. Biggie died on your watch, bro. I don't give a fuck if you was bodyguarding Puffy. It wouldn't matter if you was bodyguarding Mace, nigga. Or Lord C's. You was the head of security, bro. You ain't shoot. You're fired. You're fired. If I was the head of the agency that he worked for, he would be fired as well. And I make him non-rehireable. Because you put a black eye on the agency, my nigga. You put a black eye on the agency. You deserve to be fired for that. Like, oh, Gene Deal is living with regret. He's a disgruntled employee living with regret because he can't get past the mistakes that he made when Biggie was murdered. That's what Gene Deal is.
They get out of jail. So all those courses and all those cases and all those courses that he's taking is to get him out of jail and nothing more. Nothing more to get him out of jail, bro. That's what it's about. And what I feel about it, I don't give a flying F. You understand?
Yeah, that's what
I don't give a flying F about it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just a facade. It's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He had enough money way before he got to jail. If he wanted to do something to get himself right, to get off drugs, he could have got the best doctors.
Look, he bad. Yo, he mad because Diddy do what he supposed to do to get a lighter sentence. Like, yo, why you mad at that, bro? Like, yo, this the same man. He said he wanted Diddy to hang himself in jail. Yo, but Diddy ain't do nothing to yo. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off with Gene Diddy. Yo, Diddy helped this man. Yo, all these people that been talking bad about Diddy, Diddy helped them niggas, man. Yo, Chopper. Have anybody seen Chopper? Yo, did Chopper come back yet? Does anybody know Chopper? Somebody check on Chopper, yo. We worried about him. I mean, we ain't seen him. You feel me? Like, he was all over the internet at first, and he just disappeared. Like, we need to find Chopper. But Chopper said Diddy gave him $500,000, man. Hey, yo, if Diddy was gave me $500,000, yo, I wouldn't have nothing bad to say about Diddy. You heard me? That man gave you 500 bands and you blew it. And that was Diddy's fault. I told y'all yesterday, y'all. Blame Diddy. Tell you. Whatever you got going on, y'all. It's just blame Diddy, y'all. I don't give a fuck what it is. Bills late. Eviction notices. Diddy. Man, fuck. If it wasn't for Diddy, I would be in this situation. Because that's what the fuck they doing. Yeah, man. Yeah, PC Chopper. Oh, yeah. Chopper back in PC. He might be back in PC. You never know. He spent a lot of time there. You feel me? He might be comfortable with PC. But, just blame Diddy, yo. Everybody else is doing it. You know what I mean? Jane Deal doing it. Chopper doing it. Jaguar Wright. Shit. What the fuck the other nigga name is? The bald head nigga. Mark Curry. Shit. What's the young dude name is? Just blame Diddy, y'all. Fuck it. I'm telling you, it works. I told you I banged my knee on the wall the other day. I blamed Diddy for that shit. 5 minutes later, I was walking normal. I ain't had no problems. Try it. I'm telling you, you're gonna thank me later, man. Once you try it, come back to the video, be like, yo, keep it G. I tried that shit. That shit really worked. Kid Cudi. Yo, that shit really worked, yo. I motherfucker got in an accident, blamed Diddy. Next thing, my car was fixed. Like, I woke up in the morning, my shit was fixed. Yo, that shit is crazy. Everybody else doing it. We can't do that shit.
If he wanted to stop beating women, he could have got some psychological help.
Yeah, he might be, yo. He might be worse than this guy.
That money could buy. So all this shit is just to get his sorry ass out to jail. And 9 times out of 10, it usually helps. How many times you ever seen a leopard change his spots? He only taking those programs, bro, to get out of jail. And I don't, most people do that.
Ah, man, get the fuck out of here. Get your bitch out of my screen. Yo, we ain't talking about Charleston White goofy ass.
You
I'm
deserve
sick
the
of
best.
Alright, so Charleston White is back cornered again, y'all.
Performing?
Yo, for some reason, Charleston White keep going on these fucking conservative platforms talking about black people. Yo, he keep doing this shit. So Charleston White sat down with this. Look, 1 million people watch this shit. I can just imagine what he said. I can just imagine what he said, man.
It's don't ask, don't tell.
Now look, I don't know how everybody else views this guy, but I don't want to hear shit real from y'all. I don't want to hear nothing I even agree with from him. Because the other things are so detrimental, it takes away from anything that he says that makes sense. That's all it is. That's all he is. He's a sellout. But I seen this clip earlier. I think I saved it. Let me see. Hunter Biden. What the fuck is Hunter Biden? Nigga, Hunter Biden supposed to be in jail. The fuck? The fuck? Hey, get this nigga out the screen, man. This shit's out of control, man. Fucking Hunter Biden. People really shared what Hunter Biden had to say. That nigga supposed to be booked right now. Let's check this nigga out.
Oh, we asking, and you tell us.
You give me the feeling that you watch a lot of WNBA. Is that true? Like, are you a big WNBA?
Really? Lesbian women are not entertaining. Go get some hoes that can play basketball. They supposed to be playing in what she got on right there.
Yo, this is what he does, yo. Like, yo, you're on a conservative white platform. And, yo, this nigga is, I'm about sick of this nigga, yo. Why is he a thing, yo? How do we allow ourselves to be tricked? I ain't gonna lie, Charles White tricked me for a couple years. He tricked me for a couple years, too. So, I mean, he got me. It happens. I thought he was real. I thought he was authentic as well. until he got the dude locked up. Then I said, hold the fuck up. This nigga real. This shit ain't no joke. This shit ain't no motherfucking character. He is literally trying to send people to jail. He is literally trying to send people to jail, man. See what you talking about? Hit you up later, you out. He is literally trying to send people to jail. That has been his goal. That has been his mission. That's what the fuck he's into. You understand what I'm saying?
They should have uniforms.
Oh, you're saying for them to wear plain lingerie?
Yeah. In heels, run up and down them, click-clacking in them heels.
Very strategic. People you'd want to meet, who would it be?
I want to meet the leader, the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
Planned Parenthood is our new Hitler, our new Nazi group.
Tell me about it.
That's exterminating strictly black people.
What do you think about Diddy?
But he's innocent. I seen that video.
She's running.
She's still in his bag. Give me my bag. Where you go? Pick it up.
You're thinking.
You get on back here.
You think this is okay?
Yeah. In the ghetto, this is normal. Fighting and fucking the makeup. Best orgasm in the world.
Yo,
They
listen to this nigga, yo. Yo, can we find a white boy? Yo, we need to find a white Charleston White. Cause that's Charleston Black or something. Yo, look at this shit that he's pushing over there, yo. You see that, Carly? You understand? Yo, look what he's pushing to a conservative white platform. Yo, he COINTELPRO, man. He COINTELPRO. It's COINTELPRO, yo. They uses him. Oh my God, he made a part 3 of Jaguar, right? I just told that bitch. I thought we told y'all we ain't need no part 3. All we needed was he could have ended it at part 1, man. He made a 3-part series of this girl.
Did you ever think you would make it? I feel I'm so excited to taste sweet and dirty. I know this life meant for me.
Adam, what's your point? The future looks bright.
My
handshake is better than anything I ever saw. It's right here. You are a one-on-one? My son's right there. I don't think I've ever said this before. Charleston White, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. How you doing today?
Very good. We're finally doing this, huh? We're sitting down talking.
I think your team and my management have been talking probably almost a year to make this happen. So, yeah.
Well, like I told you earlier when he came in, I said, I wish you knew how many people here consume your content.
What I tell you?
What you have to.
What I tell y'all? What the fuck did I tell y'all? What I tell y'all, man? I told y'all a long time ago, if you was to look up Charleston White analytics, I guarantee it's a lot of racist white people that follow y'all. Guaranteed. He looked at his analytics. He looked at Charleston White analytics. Thought he'd be a great fit for the show. Like, Charleston, we are not the people that supporting Charleston White, man. I think most black people know he's a bozo. You know what I mean? At least a large percentage of us know he's a bozo, know he don't have no real message, know he just in it for the money. But there's a segment of society that loves to hear black people shame other black people. It's a large part of society that loves that shit. They pay for it. You understand? They watch it. They support it wholeheartedly. That is Charleston White core fan base. But this is the first time, like, he's not, the Hard Twins do it. It's a lot of guys that do it. But Charleston White portrays himself as a guy in the mix. I don't want to say street guy, but a guy that's in the mix. Look how he dressed, look how he talk, look how he act. But in reality, it's all a show, it's all an act. He's really just like them, a fuckboy. You know what I mean? That's really what he is.
See, because I think one of the things that's most interesting about you is anybody can ask you any question and nobody has a clue what you're gonna say. You're so unpredictable.
I don't like to know. I like to be ambushed in interviews.
You like to be ambushed in interviews?
Yeah, I don't like to know what's gonna be asked.
You be ambushed in
I
person,
like to be
bitch.
ambushed.
What if you like to be ambushed in person? I like to be ambushed in interviews. Somebody need to ambush his ass walking down the street. For the fuck shit he doing?
I can give you an explanation for everything I've said.
Yeah.
You may not agree with it.
Yeah.
But there's a reason behind it.
Right.
So I'm just not on here saying things. So I like to be put under pressure. And
Have you always been like this?
Yes, sir.
Since you were a kid?
I fell in the washing machine when I was 5 years old. I snuck
You fell in
outside.
the washing machine?
I fell in the washing machine when I was 5 years old.
Intentionally, or somebody pushed you?
I fell in. I was getting ready to jump off.
Yeah.
So my mother was upstairs asleep. I snuck outside, me and my cousin. We went to the
Nobody trying to
laundromat.
hear about that shit, bitch. Should have stayed in the washing machine. Maybe would have came out clean. Dirty motherfucker.
Compassionate, or nurturing, and kind.
And so your tutor's the reason why you like white girls?
Daddy, my daddy.
What, your daddy?
He had a white woman.
Jesus Christ. Listen. Oh my God. We just won't stop, yo. We 3 minutes in the interview. Yo, we're not gonna be able to get through this whole interview, y'all. I promise you we ain't. I know we ain't. We might get through 15 minutes. Because then we go ahead and keep stopping it. Yeah, we probably get through 15 minutes of this interview, man.
Yeah, my daddy had a white woman. And the only time that I can ever remember spending a weekend with my dad, she was there. He was going to work, so it was me and her. She was very loving, very kind. So that's all I knew. So when my mother, when we started going into the middle class neighborhood, my mother worked for General Motors.
This was the same guy that came out talking about iron white women. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? That was his claim to fame. And remember when I said, yo, that Charleston White used to say things that couldn't nobody else say on the internet and get away with it? This guy not organic, man. It's a fucking plant. Working with the police.
Early 80s, you know, the blue collar workers, the backbone of America. So the middle class was very vibrant and thriving. So I didn't grow up in a Section 8 community. I grew up in a middle class neighborhood.
In Fort Worth.
In the suburb of Fort Worth.
So why he perpetrating? That man perpetrating, man. Playing gangster. Yo, Charleston White got hella charges, y'all. Like, yo, we don't give Charleston White the civilian title. Charleston White had way too many arrests on his record to ever be called a motherfucking civilian. He just got locked up last year. Like we ain't even talking about arrests from 20 years ago. We talking about current arrests. Charleston White been locked up more than me. Charleston White got locked up more. I haven't been in jail. I haven't been in no cuffs since motherfucking 2000 and fucking 2000 and maybe 6. You heard me? Charles White been getting locked up every year probably since 2006. Yo, telling the truth ain't hating. Manu. Telling the truth ain't hating, y'all. Y'all gotta stop with this hate word. Yo, know what hating is. It's a fact that Charleston White got hella charges. It's a fact that he's a sellout. It's a fact that he's used to push nonsense. It's a fact that he's on a conservative platform talking bad about black people. That ain't hate, my guy. Those are facts. That's what he do, Carla. That's why I said we gotta stop allowing people to do that. We gotta stop allowing. That's one of the biggest problems in our community. That's how we get these guys. Because we allow people to flip-flop when it's convenient. We allow people to sell out. And then once the selling out runs out, then they come back to the community. And nah, fuck no. Yo, once you choose a side, yo, just stay there, yo. You know what I mean? Stay there forever. You ain't never got to come back. If this is your core fan base, this is who, you know, you're performing for, yo, perform for them. Don't try to come back and then try to be back on. Nah, fuck no. Stay the fuck over there, my nigga.
I was born in Fort Worth, but I grew up in Arlington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was born in Fort Worth, but I grew up in Arlington.
I used to live in Plano for 5 years.
Okay, so I've never seen violence in the community. I've never seen
As a kid?
I've never seen it.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen my mother get beat up, jumped. I've never seen it. I've never seen people shoot guns. I only saw it on television.
Unbelievable. So what happened at 14?
Watching television. Me and so let me just. I had a little man complex, small guy. So you gotta think. Fall in the washing machine. So my legs is real skinny. Can't play football. Had to learn how to rewalk again. Mom is overly protective.
Everybody try to hear your life story, bitch.
What a great.
I give a fuck about that shit. No, Kevin, that's what he always was, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yo, he ain't speaking no motherfucking facts, James. I'm glad you here, James. Hey, James, won't you call my Instagram and let's talk about the facts that Charleston White speak of? Matter of fact, you can call my phone. You can call my other phone, and we can talk about these facts that you say Charleston White speaks so elegantly on. But James, that's what I'm saying. He was always this. You know what I mean? He never was this guy that we thought he was. He was always this. A sellout. Yo, Charleston White ain't organic, bro. He ain't organic, man. He ain't organic. Yo, you can't come out disrespecting Jews, disrespecting white women, disrespecting black people, and then get a Live Nation tour. Name another person that did that. You can't. That man came out and disrespected everybody. And then transitioned to a comedian. Put him on tour, Live Nation. Went from Live Nation to Aiden Ross. It's like, yo, the man ain't right. I'm telling you. He ain't right. He was always this. He came in the game as this. The man with the Nipsey Hussle funeral from Texas. Ended up in California. That man was working with the police, man. Still got his gun rights back. Man been locked up 1 million times. How he still got his gun rights?
Just like Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood, Scarface, The Birth of a New Nation, movies like that. Yeah. So that was one of those kind of movies, and children shouldn't have watched it.
Colors.
Yeah.
Interesting. So you're saying those movies brought bad habits to good neighborhoods?
The Birth of a New Nation did. That's what people were playing for him.
Got it.
And got even stronger after that movie.
So are you hanging out with troublemakers in Arlington, or are you watching? You know,
I've never seen. So I'm in a suburb. So you got to think. At 5 years old, I'm in a hospital learning how to rewalk again. I'm getting a private tutor.
See, yo, what you don't understand is, Mano, this guy got a platform. This guy has a voice. Yo, if you let a lie linger long enough, it becomes the truth. Yo, see, that's a dumb way of thinking, my nigga. Whoever you are, if you let a lie linger long enough, it becomes the truth. Like black men don't take care of their kids. You know how we allow that to linger for 20, 30 years? It becomes the truth. When you spot a lie, you gotta kill it. Aggressively. You don't ignore the lie. Charleston White is a lie. And the reason he was able to get this big is because people ignored it for so long. It was being suppressed. When you said anything about him, they suppressed it. You don't ignore lies, man. You attack it. You call it out. Dumbass.
So I'm not outside playing.
Right.
I'm physically disabled.
Right.
Soon as I get ready to play, boom, I put my eye out. So at 9 years, 9 years, so from 5 to 8.
I don't want to hear this nigga life story, nigga. Shut your bitch ass up.
And take our turns waxing girls' behinds.
You've never seen a man come out of your mama's bedroom? You've never seen a man go to work?
Yeah. I didn't know men work. I thought men were like my Uncle Curtis and my Uncle Wayne. They pimp on a woman, or they lay around all day, or earn their clothes in the middle of the day, wake up late.
This nigga said he didn't know men worked. Jesus Christ, yo. Yo, this nigga said he didn't know men worked, yo. What the fuck kind of world was he living in when he didn't know men worked? Like, yo, there's no way that's the truth. It's like, yo, there's no way that's the truth, bro. Right, Pyrex bitch. Like, this man tripping. What you mean, James? What the fuck? You heard what he just said? It took him at 14 years old. You didn't know men worked. Men worked in Boys in the Hood. Men worked in Menace to Society. It was men working in every single one of the movies he just mentioned that influenced his life. So how can he then say he didn't know men worked? This nigga's stupid, man.
With a joint in their mouth, fly clean, and go nowhere. You know, the unproductive blackmail of the 80s. So that's what I saw.
See, yo, you see this? That's void of context. That was a play that was ran on a black man in the 80s. But he goes to an all-conservative platform and just put out a blatant falsehood. Blatant falsehood.
So I watched all the males in my family go to prison. For my mom's cousins, my uncles, grandmother's brothers, and I never heard anybody say anything bad about prison. So think about this. I never hear anybody say anything bad about prison. They come home and make it sound bravado.
Yo, this nigga
like you're missing out on something. As if the rite of passage. Not only that, you're seeing it on television. Right. So it's being reinforced either way. So we had a whole black exploitation era. So by the time, I'm an injured kid who get to watch all the television in the world.
Yo, but you see how he just skipped past exploitation? Why not highlight that to the all-white audience? Why not highlight the fact that black people was exploited in the 90s and 80s? Why not take it that way? Why not teach them something that they might didn't know? James, where the fuck James go at? Why not teach them something that they might didn't know, that they might have overlooked? He just glossed past that. That's the most important part of everything that he's saying. Yeah, you're right to this day. You ain't lying. That is the most important part of everything that he said, but he just glossed past it.
Oh, we had a VC. Yeah. So by the time I get to be a normal kid that can go outside and play, it's a new culture, gang culture. And it's trending. I remember we seen colors. Our first summer, we went and got bandanas and put them in my pocket. I went and got me a pocket knife. I don't know nothing about this but what I saw on television. I didn't know how to have sex from listening to rap music. And this is in the 5th and 6th grade.
Yo, this nigga is talking crazy. Yo, this nigga is talking crazy, yo. I don't even know if I want to watch this. Yo, why is like he's making his experience the black experience. He need to preface that. You know, I'm not saying every kid was this way. I'm just saying this was my life. This is how I view things. You know, add context to it. Cause everybody didn't grow up and have mothers and that work great jobs and no, bro, like add context to the situation, bro.
On by 2 Live Crew called Hey, we want some. Yeah, so imagine stopping it, rewinding it, stopping it, so you can get every lyric. So
yeah. So what he's saying is he is talking to the white community and say, yo, basically the black culture is detrimental. You know, it was detrimental. But he's not talking about how he's not bringing on the fact that it was exploitation that led to it being detrimental. It wasn't always this way. It wasn't always this way. Explain that. You in front of an all-white audience for the most part. Explain that part. But he don't want to explain that because that's going to get him pushback. That's not going to get him support. These guys get support by disrespecting black people. Disrespecting black culture. Look at James. He loves it. You know what I mean? James probably watched this shit 17 times. He probably watching it now on another TV. You feel me? He watched it with us and he watching it on another TV. He just can't get enough of it. The fuck? You know what I mean? Hey, this nigga is dirty, man.
Our culture taught us.
Look, there you go. I knew it.
I say this often, and people really overlook it. It's a rape culture.
A rape culture?
Rape culture.
Yeah, hip hop is a rape culture.
Tell me about it.
Yo, this nigga crazy. Yo, our culture was exploited through hip hop. It wasn't black execs running hip hop. Yo, when hip hop was created, hip hop was about uplifting. You had KRS-One, you had Queen Latifah. I mean, it was about uplifting. It wasn't till after the crack epidemic, and they started focusing on mass incarceration until they changed hip hop into what it is today. But why he don't explain that to the people that need to know? Most of us know this. You understand what I'm saying? We was a part of it. Why don't he explain that to these people that don't understand that don't know that? I explained that to a guy I told a couple weeks ago. He's like, I ain't never think about it like that. I'm like, man, hell yeah, man, that's the fuck they did. Charleston White knows this. But he chooses to leave it out. Because you're right. Conan Dupe. Grandmaster Flash. You know what I mean? It's a lot of people, man. Hip-hop wasn't like this at first, man. Hip-hop was exploited because they wanted to do mass incarceration.
I put a Molly in her drink, and she ain't even know it. Me and my homies like to play this game.
He said the
some
same
call
shit.
it Amtrak, but some call it the train. We all line
Yo, he got the same talking points. Yo, how many times have he said this? Like at least 50 fucking times. That's how you know he's not real. If he was real, he'd be able to explain things and not use the same talking points every single fucking time. It's hella songs. If you wanna go by lyrics, these are only 2 songs you can name.
in a single file line and take our turns waxing girls' behinds. Every time it get to me, I was out of luck because I stick my end and it would get stuck. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not. The girl will say stop, I say I'm not.
So now you're saying a black man is raping women, man. I don't know. I'm about sick of his ass. I don't even think we want to watch the rest of this shit, yo, because we'll never get through it. Like, yo, we'll never get through this, y'all. I promise you. This video was 2 hours. If I was to do a whole live on this bitch, that shit might be 5. You feel me? Like for real though, yo. Like we'd be up here in the motherfucking 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning watching this whole live, y'all. Because you can't allow these things. You can't allow them to just say this shit. You know what I mean? You can't allow them to just say these things without a rebuttal. See, but that's why Charleston White won't talk to nobody. We can't talk to me, man. I've been trying to talk to Charleston White for years now, man. That nigga disrespected me on Facebook, called me out my name, said he wished my mother died. This was years ago. Like, these niggas know. You feel me? But I don't think we can watch no more of this, man. We can't watch no more of this. Because we'll never get through it, y'all. Like, what time is it? We'll go to 3 o'clock. It's 2:21. We'll watch it at 3 o'clock.
But we dance to it. There's another song. I take her back to the trap. I gave her a perk, and she ain't even know it. Then she dropped her panties. So when we watch the frat parties, what was that, Porky's Revenge? Hey, let's spike the punch. The girls don't know to spike the sponge. When we see a bunch of girls, hey, Baby, let me get you a drink. Come over, let's have some drink. Drink to do what? And they have sex. That's coercion. She has to have a sober mind. So that's our culture.
How did it happen?
Yo, that is not black culture. Yo, why he acting like white people don't do that? Like, yo, this nigga just said, yo, yo, white people drink way more than black people. White people party harder than black people. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. These motherfuckers have rave parties. Motherfucking, what you call them bitches with the, fuck you call them motherfuckers, man, with the bonfires. I mean, you don't think they drinking with women with intent to have sex with them? Like, why is he making that a black thing? It's not a black thing. It's not a black thing, man.
Hollywood entertainment. They because this they romanticize. Now they romanticize.
When you see the videos of back in the days, African American families, suits, the way they dressed, clean, solid, strong. What got into that? You're saying purely it's hip hop and movies?
A group of teenagers that became a phenomenon, like the Beatles, NWA. Not on
this. Oh my God, yo. I'm gonna let him go ahead.
That you got this group.
Right,
that know things about crack that the rest of America don't know. They the first crack.
Yo, America gets high, yo. You feel me? America gets high, yo. America takes drugs. America take more drugs than any other country in the United States, right? I mean, drugs is a part of America. Past and present. It's not a black thing, man. It's not a white thing. It's an American thing.
They the ones told us in songs, mothers smoke crack and your friends can have sex with them. Boys in the hood is always hard. We didn't know about a strawberry. That is a strawberry. A woman who sell her body for crack. You know how many of our aunties they end up doing that? You know how many guys that was in middle school?
Yo, but how did NWA become a thing though, Charleston? Why are you not talking about the music industry and what happened? Talk about what happened, bro. These people want to know. These people deserve to know. These people deserve to know, man. What really happened?
And his best friend mom was on dope, and he ended up effing his best friend mom, and now they hate each other to this day. So it wasn't just.
Yeah, he don't want to say. He don't want to say.
It was the lyrical content that children was being able to have access to. This is before the parental advisory stickers. Not only that, you got this music, which if you wanna check the temperature of your youth's mentality, listen to the music. So now you got this new chemical that was made in a laboratory. Black people didn't know how to cook crack. That's a chemist method. Somebody had to teach them. By the way, government taught somebody how to do this when we watched the movie Snowfall. So when they came out of California to come spread crack throughout America, who they bring? The gangs. Throughout the South, these little small country towns who people are fascinated by California from what we seen on television. And we emulated a culture that was more destructive than the Ku Klux Klan and the Jim Crow system.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm done with this nigga. I'm done. I can't watch no more of that shit, y'all. This nigga crazy. Yo, that was a golden opportunity to tell the truth, and this bitch ass nigga failed. This nigga up my fucking screen. He had a golden opportunity.
Dessert and the Mega Moolah multiplier
tell the
scratch
fucking
off. You really
truth.
pulled out all the...
And this nigga failed miserably. Miserably, y'all. What the fuck else is going on in the world? Martin Luther King files got released. The fuck is what's in the Martin Luther King files?
And we are now following some breaking news. The Trump administration has just released thousands of FBI records on Martin Luther King.
He's not
Jr.
telling the truth, bro.
The documents inside include details about how the FBI.
He's not telling the truth. He's telling a fabricated story. Like he's not being honest. He had an opportunity. He's dancing around the real issue. That's what he's doing. He dancing around the real issue and blaming rap music instead of the forces that was controlling rap music. That's what that's I know. You see a lot of them niggas from the South Side of LA. You know, a lot of southern areas got on to gangster shit late. You know, DC, Baltimore, and New York, and Philly, and Detroit, and you know what I mean, Chicago, they was already on that shit. I think the South was influenced. A lot of them southern states was influenced by LA heavily. But it's not, you can't blame rap. You know what I mean? Rap is detrimental, but rap changed. Rap wasn't always that. It was a change in rap. The trajectory of where rap was going was halted, and they turned it to something else. Man, hell yeah, he been paid. Charles White came in as a plant. Go back to his old videos, man. To this day, you can't say some of the things Charleston White said on the internet.
As investigation into King's assassination, and the release comes despite opposition from the civil rights leader's family. NBC News justice reporter Ryan Riley joins me now with more on this breaking news. So Ryan, I guess the big question is, why now?
Well, this was something that Donald Trump had ordered, but, you know, there was that famous video of that Fox News interview that Donald Trump did where he was talking about what he would order declassified, talking about the JFK files.
Gangs ain't come to Baltimore really to fucking 2000s. You know what I mean? That's probably late 90s, but really the 2000s, like 2003, 2004. Like, yo, we was neighborhoods. Niggas wasn't on no gang shit. I was surprised gangs even ever came, to be honest.
And then the Epstein files, and the Epstein files is the one he sort of held back on there, and that's of course what is really dominating the news, or at least was as of a couple days ago. And this, you know, the timing of this, I think certainly raises, you know, a few eyebrows. Obviously, this is something that had been in the works for a while, so the exact timing, but combined with a number of other stories that we saw today, along with some of Donald Trump's posts from overnight, you know, it seems as though changing the topic from Epstein seems to be a major focus here for sure, Ryan.
And this is not something the King family is in favor of. They voiced their opposition to this release. Why don't they want this information out there?
Well, you know, I mean, there are definitely, it's a lot of personal information that would be coming out. They did have a statement from a conservative member of Dr. King's family who was sort of supporting this in the press release that they put out in connection with this. And you had a mention from Pam Bondi praising Dr. King as, you know, a great American. So there are definitely questions about how much information is in regard to his personal life should be, you know, put out in the public there. So that's, but a lot of this has to do with, and it could, you know, fuel conspiracy theories. But a lot of this has to do with the chase and the sort of hunt for his assassin. So I think that's, you know, but obviously this is an enormous amount of documents, so it's going to take a long time for people to actually go through them and see if
they went I did a whole video on it, yo. I did a whole video on YouTube to monetize me for that shit. I believe I did a whole video showing how rap is connected to the prison industry. And how the same people that run in the rap industry run the prison, they're the same people. They're literally the same fucking people, man.
Over the course of what came out here, Ryan.
And could there be information released that could potentially be seen as damaging to Dr. King or his legacy?
I think it remains to be seen, right? Because we have so much material that still has to be gone through and put in the context of what was already known. You know, obviously there are some great biographies out there about Dr. King that look, you know, including a trilogy that looks over the course of his life. So this is something that has been closely studied. Some files have come out before, but I think, you know, this is mostly.
I ain't seen that video. Let me take y'all back to that video. They're the same people, man. I think YouTube demonetized me for that video a while ago. It's the only thing I can think of. They ain't had no other reason to demonetize me. I did a video on how rap in prison is ran by the same people. And I got demonetized 3 days later. I think I got too in depth with it. I got too in depth with it, man. But I don't even know the name of the fucking video. Here you go. This video only got 190 views. This video should went viral. This one I was doing uploads.
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z
No,
Fold 7.
I ain't done uploads in a while because I've been working. Alright, so look. You ain't got to hear what I said. We can go to Ice Cube.
This say on Bill Maher show. Here you go.
Okay, let's take rap music. Let's take same people who own the labels own the prisons. So literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So you know,
now I don't really trust Ice Cube either.
It seems really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that, you know, the records that come out are really geared
because he participated in it
to push people towards that prison industry. But they didn't make you write those lyrics. It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. You know, some records are made by committee, meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're going to have this guy write the lyrics. We're going to have that. So the narrative is really kind of, you know, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what the, you know, a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making.
Now make sure y'all share this video,
All right,
y'all.
so listen to this article I read. I found this article. It took me forever to find this article, but I found this article that details the whole situation.
And if so, how close is it? Let's find out. Last year, Correction Corporation of America, CAA, the biggest name in the private prison industry, contacted 48 states offered to buy their prisons. One stipulation of eligibility for the deal was particularly bizarre, and assurance by the agency partner that the agency had sufficient inmate population to maintain a minimum 90% occupancy rate over the term of the contract. What kind of legitimate and ethical measure could possibly be taken to ensure the maintenance of a 90% prison occupancy rate? 2 months later, an anonymous letter was sent out to various members of the music industry, giving the account of a meeting where it was determined that hip-hop music would be manipulated to drive up privatized prison profits. Its author, despite claiming to be a former industry insider, did not provide the names of anyone involved in the plot, nor did he specify by which company himself was employed. As such, the letter was largely regarded as a fraud for lack of facts. Well, here are the facts. PBS Frontline has described the conglomerates that determined that the information is disseminated to the public as a web of business relationships that now defines America's media and culture. Businesses, relationships. Last year, a mere 232 media executives were responsible for the intake of 277 million Americans, controlling all the avenues necessary to manufacture any celebrity and entice any trend. Time Warner, as the owner of Warner Brothers Recording, among many other record labels, can not only sign an artist to a record contract, but as an owner of an Entertainment Weekly, can see to it that they get next week's cover. Also, the owner of New Line Cinema.
So look, just look how they do this, y'all. So Time Warner owns New Line Cinema and Entertainment Weekly. So when you wonder how these rappers just be coming from nothing to something. Yo, they can make anybody. They can. That's why I be saying shit like they can make me the biggest blogger tomorrow. Tomorrow. All they gotta do is force feed you the person. So what this article is going to detail is the connections between these companies and how they can promote certain artists and how they can promote certain agendas through multiple companies that's owned by one corporation. Check it out.
Entertainment Weekly can see to it that they get next week's cover. Also, the owner of New Line Cinema, HBO, and TNT. They can have their artists cast in the leading roles in the film that, when pulled from theaters, will be put into a rotation first on premium, then on basic cable, without any consideration to the music whatsoever. The artist will already be a star. Those such monopolies also extended to radio stations and networks that air music videos for consumers' choices often illusionary. Both BET and MTV belong to...
Consumers' choice is often illusionary. Look at this.
Into radio stations and networks that air music videos for consumers' choices often illusionary. Both BET and MTV belong to Viacom.
BET and MTV belongs to Viacom. It looked like BET and MTV are two totally separate entities, but they ran by the same fucking people.
Wild Hot 97, New York's top hip-hop station, is owned by Eminence Communication. Online streaming is controlled by Clear Channel, who also owns rival station Power 105. None of this is exactly breaking news, but when ownership of these media conglomerates is cross-checked with the ownership of the biggest names in prison privatization, interesting facts emerge. According to public answers from Bloomberg, the largest holder of correction corporations in America is Vanguard Incorporated. Interestingly enough,
this video should have did way better than what it did, but YouTube suppressed the shit out of this video.
Vanguard Incorporated. Interestingly enough, Vanguard also holds considerable stake in the media giant determining this country culture. In fact, Vanguard is the third largest holder in both Viacom and Time Warner. Vanguard is also...
So Vanguard is the largest holder in Viacom and Time Warner. Time Warner and Warner Brothers is one of the biggest record companies, labels in the motherfucking world. Y'all, you see what I'm saying? It's the same people, man. Let's go back.
Names in prison privatization, interesting facts emerge. According to public answers from Bloomberg, the largest holder of correction corporations in America is Vanguard Incorporated. Interestingly enough, Vanguard also holds considerable stake in the media giant determining this country culture. In fact, Vanguard is the third largest holder in both Viacom and Time Warner. Vanguard is also the third largest holder in GEO Group, whose correctional detention and community reentry service boasts 105 facilities, approximately 73,000 beds, and 18,000 employees. Second nationally only to Correction Corporation of America. GEO's facilities are located not only in the United States, but in the United Kingdom, Australia, and South Africa. You may be thinking, well, Vanguard is only the third largest holder in those media conglomerates, which is no guarantee that they're calling any shots. Well, the number one holder of both Viacom and Time Warner is a company called BlackRock. BlackRock is the second largest holder in Correctional Corporation of America, second only to Vanguard, and sixth largest holder in the GEO Group.
So why do both these major corporations invest so much money in the music industry? why they invested so much money in the music industry, man? Let's go back, let's watch it again. Hold up, for people that didn't catch that.
Answers from Bloomberg, the largest holder of correction corporations in America is Vanguard Incorporated. Interestingly enough, Vanguard also holds considerable stake in the media giant determining this country culture. In fact, Vanguard is the third largest holder in both Viacom and Time Warner. Vanguard is also the third largest holder in GEO Group, whose correctional detention and community reentry service boasts 105 facilities, approximately 73,000 beds, and 18,000 employees. Second nationally only to Correction Corporation of America. GEO's facilities are located not only in the United States, but in the United Kingdom, Australia, and South Africa. You may be thinking, well, Vanguard is only the third largest holder in those media conglomerates, which is no guarantee that they're calling any shots.
Look who else. Look what else Vanguard got money in. Wells Fargo, J.P. Morgan, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Bristol Myers, Kinder Morgan, Next Era, Citigroup. Yo, everybody is profiting off prisons. Everybody. Well, I mean, they got money in Vanguard. I mean.
Well, the number one holder...
AT&T, Bank of America, Verizon, Comcast, ExxonMobil. That's why they never stopped the harassment of certain people, man. Too much money involved.
Viacom and Time Warner is a company called BlackRock. BlackRock is the second largest holder in Correctional Corporation of America, second only to Vanguard, and sixth largest holder in the GEO Group. There are many other startling overlaps in private prison, mass media ownership, but two underlying facts become clear very quickly. The people who own the media are the same people who own private prisons, the exact same people, and using one to promote the other is, or would be dependent on your analysts, very lucrative. Such a scheme would mean some very greedy, racist people. There are facts to back that up too. Prison industry lobbyists developing and encouraging criminal justice policy to advance financial interests has been well documented. The most notorious example is the Washington-based American Legislative Council, a policy organization funded by CCA and GEO, which successfully championed the incarceration promoting truth in sentencing and three-strike sentencing laws. If the motive of the private prison industry were the good-hearted desire to get hold of inmates as quickly as possible for the purpose of certain successful rehabilitating them, maintenance of a 90% occupancy rate would be considered a huge failure, not a functional prerequisite. Likewise, the largest rise in incarceration that this country has ever seen. This despite the fact that crime rates actually declined since the time. This decrease in crime rate was pointed out enthusiastically by skeptics eager to debunk last year's anonymous industry letter, who painted a picture of popularized hip-hop as a tool for imprisoning masses. What wasn't pointed out was that despite crime rates going down, incarceration rates have skyrocketed. While the size of prison population changed dramatically, so did its complexion. In All Eyes on Me, America War on Drugs and Prison Industry, Andre Douglas documents the obvious truth that the vast majority of prison increase in the United States has come from African Americans and Latino citizens drug arrests.
When you have a vendor and a partner that operates with excellence, is really critical to how we grow.
Gut-tastic, the incredible feeling from adding Neurothyroid.
Man, BlackRock, man. BlackRock a motherfucker.
This well-documented statistic proving that the so-called war on drugs has been waged almost entirely on low-income communities of color, where up until just 2 years ago, cocaine sold in crack form fetched sentences 100 times as lengthy as the exact same amount of cocaine sold in powder form, which is much more common in cocaine arrests in affluent communities. In July 2010, the oddly named Fair Sentencing Act was adopted, which rather than reducing the crack powder disparity from 100 to 1 to 1 to 1, reduced it to 18 to 1, which is still grossly unfair. This is not to suggest that crack powder disparities represent the extent of racism rampant with the incarceration industry. The U.S. Sentencing Commission reported in March 2010 that in federal prison systems, even where convicted of the same exact crimes, people of color receive prison sentences 10 times longer, where convictions were identical. Mandatory minimum sentences are also 25% more likely for people of color. Finally, let us not forget the wealth of evidence to support the notion that crime, drug, and prison glorifying hip-hop only outsells other hip-hop because it receives so much more exposure and financial backing.
It only outsells other hip-hop because... So, listen to what the article just said.
Let us not forget the wealth of evidence to support the notion that crime, drug, and prison glorifying hip-hop only outsells other hip-hop because it receives so much more exposure and financial backing. And
So
then,
crime, drugs, and violence in hip-hop receives more exposure because it gets way more financial backing.
Equal exposure to talent is much for a reliable indicator. Same Bay, aka Most Def, put it best. Hip-hop is just shorthanded for black people. Before our eyes and ears, a web of business relationships that now defines America's media and culture has one particular business ranking in billions of dollars while the other declines the culture of a specific demographic as criminal. Both businesses are owned by the same people. Mainstream media continue to endorse hip-hop that glorifies criminality, most notably drug trafficking and violence, and private prison interests long since proven to value profits over human rights, ushering inmates of color to meet capacity quotas. The same people disproportionately incarcerated when exposed to the criminal justice system are at every turn inundated with media normalizing incarceration to the point that wherever there is mainstream hip-hop music, reference to imprisonment as an ordinary, even expected component of life is sure to follow. Conspiracy theorists get a lot of flack for daring entertain the notion that people will do evil things for money. Historical atrocities like the slavery or the Holocaust are usually acknowledged yet simultaneously adopted as the contradictory position that there can't possibly be any human beings around intelligent enough and immortal enough to perpetuate such things. There is abundance of people content to believe that only conspiracy theories ever exist are those that successfully been exposed. The link between mass media and the prison industry complex, however, is part of a very different type of conversation. The information in this article is not difficult to find. It's all public. This is not a conspiracy. This is the fact. Now, I ain't gonna die.
Those are the facts, man. Charleston White knows that. But Charles White rather get on these motherfucking platforms and instead of really giving a real message, he said a whole bunch of nonsense and fuckery that just make this shit worse. All he doing is sowing division. Did y'all see this? So remember Nicole Fagan was indicted after she allegedly brought drugs into the Rice Street. Remember they hit the YSL lawyer with a RICO? She's facing more charges now, man.
Fagan is well known in local legal circles for her effective representation of alleged gang members, often when they are charged with violating Georgia's Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act, says J.P. Miller, who told us he knows her from both sides of the street, having worked against her when he was a gang investigator with the Fulton County DA's office and consulted with her now that he's a private investigator.
She has a great reputation on the street and with her clients and by her peers. She has been successful in receiving several not guilty and acquittal cases throughout her career.
But now an indictment, which also contains allegations against two co-defendants, charges Nicole Fagan herself with violation of the Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act and other charges. For example, the gang charge against her alleges she unlawfully solicited a fugitive in a gang murder case to commit criminal gang activity through the commission of the offense of tampering with evidence. A criminal solicitation charge suggests she unlawfully solicited a person by that same name, a 4PF gang member that was a fugitive in a 4PF gang murder case, to get rid of his phone with the intent to obstruct the prosecution of someone else. Another count accuses Fagan and another person of the offense of obtain/procure/give inmate prohibited item without authorization. It alleges they did unlawfully give to Tenquarius Mender, an inmate of the Fulton County Jail, a place of incarceration, methamphetamine. Still another count mentions the prohibited item offense, only this time involving the illegal drug oxycodone, and yet another count alleges something similar involving marijuana.
You know, I've worked with her on both sides, and she's always been a pleasure to work with.
Yeah, she ready to go to
Now, a
jail.
court document that we obtained indicates Nicole Fagan was Mender's defense lawyer. It indicates in that case he pled guilty to possession of weapon by incarcerated individual, possession of telecommunications device by incarcerated individual,
That nigga probably told.
and participation in criminal street gang activity. That last charge as an Alford plea, which I understand means he does not admit that he did it, but that it was in his best interest to plead guilty. There's much more on this that we're digging into. For now,
Yo told on a lawyer. Tarquarius Mender. He's one of the YSL guys. Yo told on a lawyer, man. That's what it sounds like to me. I could be wrong though. That sounds to me he told on a lawyer. Yo, hold up, y'all. Look at Jim Jones, y'all. Y'all been trying to ignore Jim Jones and this fuckery. Yo, Jim Jones said he could have signed Drake, J. Cole, and The Weeknd. Listen to this nigga. I ain't even listened to it yet. Because I be trying to ignore him because he just clout chasing. And he's saying anything. Like, Jim Jones then brought into... he's a 50-year-old. He's Charleston White. Jim Jones is Charleston White now, y'all. So what you got to do with this guy is just ignore him. You know, we don't want to blow his head up. I think that's what we should have did to Charleston White in the beginning. Just ignored him. But now he got too big, so you can't ignore him. That's why, for the most part, I've been trying to ignore Jim Jones. Because he clout chasing. He's just saying anything. Now, let's see how he could have signed these guys. Let's check it out.
Like, J. Cole used to be in my studio all the time. I can't say that wholeheartedly. And then Drake, Allen, and Grumblet let me hear some of his music and shit like that. I remember that, but I kept telling him, he had no image. It just was, I didn't understand it, didn't connect, but he could rap his ass off. I remember telling Allen that. And The Weeknd, I went to Canada, but that was the same day that Sack Bundles had passed away, so naturally I wasn't in my right frame of mind. And The Weeknd opportunity is kind of him. Like, J. Cole used to be in my studio all the time. My mind was somewhere else. But shout out to The Weeknd, shout out to the whole XO family, shout out to Cash. Those are all my brothers still to this day. Word.
Do you ever look back at that like, damn, I missed out on a lot of money?
Nah, I don't think about it in that capacity. It's like crying over spilled milk. You know? I gotta keep moving. I gotta get the money. I gotta get.
Yeah, he could not have signed them people, man. What, you gonna give him 10,000? Like Jim Jones, one of the motherfuckers that want to sign you to 10,000 and shit. Oh, what does Mother say? What Cash Out Mother say? Them boys want to take 10,000 for you, Jim Jones. Hey, cuz that's how they beat her. That's the going rate. They try to get motherfucking 10,000 for 4 albums. Yeah, everybody taking that shit. What does Mother say? They didn't get her 30 years.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
I'd like to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm sorry. I'd like to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak.
Yeah, for real, bro. Almost only counting horseshoes, man. That's what my man always say, man. Almost is only counts in horseshoes. You know what I mean? If you almost hit the motherfucking mark, you did a great job. But that shit don't count for nothing else in life.
Ever since I turned myself in, I was always prayerful for the victims. I take accountability. I pray for them continuously. I pray for the district attorney's office. I pray for you, Judge, because that's what God requires me to do. And that's what I truly feel in my heart, because I love God so much, and I'm so full of joy.
You're right, yeah, everything is tripping 80.
That Friday, when the verdict came in, I wasn't angry at all.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie.
I almost thought something was wrong with me. So that Saturday, well, the night before, let me back up. I talked to God like I always do.
I ain't doing all that.
He said,
I'm
I
sorry,
must give my testimony.
Yo, I salute to these people, yo, but I'm not doing all that. I might, apologize to the victims, or whatever role I may have played in the situation. I wish things didn't go that way. Yeah, but I ain't going all the way into God, and like I ain't doing all that. I'm sorry, y'all. Like it ain't even just pride. Like I just was always taught, yo, you don't do that here. You know what I mean? Like you don't let them break you, man. She sound broken right now.
The young ladies, the new beginnings. And I said, Father God, I don't want to put my business out there. That's my business. But Father God said, your business is my business, and my agenda is your agenda. He said for me, which I always do, I respect authority. And Sergeant Ball was on the shift in my pod. So I had to speak to her. I was kind of afraid to speak to her. But Father God reminded me, he said, I'm by your side, do not fear. So I pressed the button and I asked, could I speak to her, because I knew that in order to get my testimony, there's authority that I must talk to. So I went out and she asked me what was going on.
It is like this.
And I said, Sergeant Paul,
I'll watch you tell do this.
during devotion,
You gotta go live on that.
will I be able to give my testimony? Because that's what
It
God
definitely ain't called.
has
And that'd be
said
my
for me
only
to do.
thing. Like, it don't matter what
It
you
wasn't
say
a
to these
choice.
people.
God doesn't give you.
Yo, it don't matter what you say. That shit ain't changing the facts. You still getting these 30 years. So, I mean, some of that shit is better off not even being said, yo. Like, it's not gonna help you. It just it ain't. Maybe if you go back for a sentence modification, they might take it into consideration. But even at that rate, man, them people don't give a fuck, man. They do what the fuck they want to do, man. If they want to release you, they will. If they don't, they won't. That's my mentality for real.
He gives commandments. And I never want to be disobedient to God.
Yeah. That's his mother.
She said, Miss Smith, she said, you cannot be disobedient to God. So if you give your testimony and it just saves one person,
You ain't lying, though, Jup.
just one person, you've done what God asked you to do.
See, I don't be liking this shit. Like, don't do
So I
do
gave
that,
my
man.
testimony to about 35 women in the New Beginnings pod with me. God was speaking through me. I give him all the praise and glory. It's not me at all. My attorney, she's been great. She's been great. And she asked me when she came Sunday to speak to me what I would like her to say. And she has done that. And I just said, give me an opportunity just to speak to the judge, just a little bit. I'm so sorry for the victims. And I pray for them and will continue to pray. Because God says, if you love me,
her. What she's saying is contradictory to what the son's saying. The son's saying that shit ain't never happened. Mom Duke saying she feels sorry for the victims. Now, which one is the truth? Did it never happen, or is there real victims in this situation?
And when I pray wholeheartedly. I didn't think I could do it in the beginning. I said, God, I don't know if I can do this. But he knew.
I got life in prison. I ain't even saying shit. For real.
He chose me to do this.
Thinking about it now. Yo, after you was this before sentencing? This had to be before sentencing. Cause after I get sentenced to life, like I might say fuck you, and I might throw the chair at the judge. The fuck you mean? I might get more time for that. Like, man, the fuck, I ain't got shit to say. They can take me to my motherfucking cell. Somebody get hurt in this bitch. Yeah, y'all know I be joking when I be dead, sir. I don't know how I'll be able to comprehend that. I know I ain't gonna be like this. I ain't fuck. I got to go. Like, straight up. Like, get me the fuck out of here. You could have sentenced me to life from my cell. Like, we ain't had to do, we could have just skipped all of this.
Stop teaching the word if I wanted to. That's not even an option with me.
Yeah, I don't know, that is crazy.
You wish it to be, I'm okay with that. Because I will continue to spread the good news wherever I go. Because that's the path that God put me on. It's been with me for a long time. I just didn't take notice to it. I love what I do. I love spreading the good news. I love showing love to all, and I mean it wholeheartedly. I'm not angry at all. And I thank you for this opportunity. Miss Winfrey, I thank you.
Fuck that. I ain't doing all that. They tripping. I ain't thinking nobody. The fuck you mean? Thank you. Yeah, fuck out of here. Ain't tripping. I ain't thinking no motherfucking judge. No prosecutors. The fuck I ain't doing no thinking. Did the cousin say anything? What the fuck he say? Everybody's got so much to say, huh? Fuck, I wish I would thank somebody for giving me life in prison.
How you doing, Your Honor? Good morning. My name is Tyrone Orlando Taylor. Speak up a little loud for me, sir. My name is Tyrone Orlando Taylor. I know my life ain't been perfect. I made a lot of mistakes in life. I know my background ugly, but not violent, like being caught with guns and robbery and murders and stuff. I know that I made a lot of mistakes by making the wrong decisions. And I learned since 2019, I've been incarcerated to make the right decision. And I learned a lot of patience. And the victims who accusing me of something that they said I did,
I think this before they got sent.
And it hurt me. Since I've been locked up, my family, I've been having folks dying on me. My son growing up, my daughter growing up. And I've been doing the best I can to get out this situation. And for the victim, Jordan Allen, I asked that she forgive me if she felt like I did any harm to her. I don't harm no one. I help people. I always have jobs that I work. I was a chef. I put pipes in the ground. I helped do create Centennial Park, the Kroger off Ponce de Leon. I was working. I was doing a lot of positive things, but I had my foot sometimes in the wrong mud. So since I've been doing time, I learned to stay positive and don't do nothing negative.
I guess we don't even gotta go into the case. They did that shit. Cash out the only one said it ain't happened. The mother said it happened. The cousin said it happened. They did that shit, man. I want to see the sentencing. I want to see what happened when they sentenced him. I was watching that shit earlier. Hopefully it's still on my still on my feed. Here you go.
What we have had to endure since all this happened. I hope you get what you have coming to you. And you don't have to get And you don't have to get out of prison for a very long time, even if you do get out. You can sit in prison and think about all the things that you have done wrong to us girls. Okay, we have Mr. and Mrs. Wiwatowski on Zoom, and they'd like to make their own statement.
I'm on. Can you hear me?
1 second. Is this one statement, a joint statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ms. Wiwatowski, let me
Honorable Judge.
let me see your face, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was on. I don't know how to turn it back on. Here it is. I'm more not so privy with Zoom. I use.
Thank you.
I'll stay on. I have no problem keeping my camera on.
All right. Go right.
Honorable Judge, our daughter became involved with the defendant in the summer of 2015. She had just only turned 21 in the March of the same year.
Everybody knows that the place to find a place is apartments.com.
Man,
Bingo.
Yo, try not to ever find yourself in this type of situation, man. This type of shit gets sticky. I mean, God damn, shorty. They was geeking.
She was so young. We were still paying for her car insurance, her cell phone. This is how we located our only child, who was taken from North Carolina to Georgia with a promise to be his girlfriend, and even told he was meeting his mother. Please understand the relevance to that statement, because I have been married since September of 1989. And all these warm and fuzzy triggers played into the scam of his wealth and the role that he would play in these women's lives. Using his one-hit wonder status to steal their person. He and his mom literally stole the souls of all the women that they victimized. This is evident in our daughter's case, as what he did to her defined her what she is today. She has been traumatized to the point she can't even be a mother to her own children. She's been in counseling since this incident and suffers post-traumatic stress disorder because of the violence and deceit that he and his mom delivered. These individuals withheld food while they were selling these young ladies on the internet to these Johns. And they would keep every dollar too. That's how they made their money. They didn't make it by music. They simply used the music platform to lure these women in. Please consider that my daughter was an honor student who graduated high school in 2012 with almost an associate's degree in biology, and she was attending college for dental in 2015 when he made his broken promises and forced her into prostitution. We filed a missing person report. We contacted the Atlanta police. When no one listened, I called him, and guess what? I told him, like the movie Taken, I was coming and getting my own. Now, for the defense, who states, well, why didn't you just leave?
I might got about the 15.
Because these clowns were everywhere, and literally at the side of my car.
Ms. Wiwatowski, I want you to focus your statement as an impact statement, and I want you to direct your comments to me, okay?
Okay. Well,
she mad as a bitch. I don't blame her.
She made a point to get us as close as possible. My point is, within minutes of we getting our daughter, that Mama Cash and her another woman were in the side of our car, and we barely escaped. To say that children could just walk off, they couldn't. These people were everywhere. Please give all the victims their day by throwing the book at these folks. Remember the parents that traveled and drove from their home to his door to do a well check. for their daughter. Remember how we put ourselves in danger to save our daughter, and finally remember and resonate with the fact that even though we restored her body, we have been unsuccessful in saving and healing the person because of the trauma that these animals delivered. Thank you very much. I'm done.
God dang.
All right.
The next statement is from Diamond Irvin. My past dealing with Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor has impacted my life in a major way. Because of these people, I know they are. Because of the people I know they are, I am in consistent fear of my life and for the well-being of my family. I know what they are capable of, and I know how far they can extend. So, for the rest of my life, I will fear that they will kill me. I will never forget the times that he threatened to kill me with a gun, even firing gunshots indoor wherever we were. All because he was mad that I didn't want to go out and do what he wanted me to do. They know where members of my family live, and I will rest easier knowing that these two individuals are locked up for their crimes. I suffer severe depression from my past experience with these two individuals, as well as persistent anxiety. I have been in and out of the emergency room for at least 6 times to receive treatment for symptoms such as high blood pressure and rapid heart rate because of the trauma that Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor put me through.
Dang.
I have been prescribed several medications to help me deal with these symptoms. As a result of their manipulation of me, I have found it hard to gain and keep employment, and I have had to relocate out of the state of Georgia just to get away from them. I hope the court takes my experience into strong consideration when sentencing Cash Out and Tyrone Taylor, so that me and my family and others would seek to do harm to.
I know, Joe Jack. I had to sit through one of them. Them victim impact statements that drown you, man. For real. Them bitches that drown you.
And protected. The next statement is from Janae Wright.
How many victims was it in this case, man?
And allowing my spirit to rest, it deserves by being satisfied.
These are real victims, y'all. These are real victims. It's not Cassie and Jane Doe. Like, that's why these are real victims. You see, I ain't joking. I mean, I don't joke real victims, man.
Felt from facing one of my demons responsible for the most traumatic experience I've ever lived through by testifying. However, the God I serve knows me, and that same God prompted me to release this burden from my heart and speak one last time. So here it goes. In 2015, I was robbed and raped at gunpoint by 2 men while in a hotel with my best friend. In 2015, I was 20 years old, young, free, open-hearted, optimistic, and had an insatiable lust for life. However, after the event in 2015, I became anxiety and depression stricken, filled with paranoia and severely distrustful of everything and everyone. That was cowardly, and inwardly I felt alone, afraid, disgusting, unloved, and unlovable because I was tainted by an experience that altered my personality so much that I couldn't even recognize myself. Repulsed by the thought that I would be forced to explain to anyone who attempted to bond with me, and fearful of being too much to deal with, because why would anyone love a victim of such a heinous and fearful of a heinous thing, or fearful of being questioned because my story didn't make sense, and I would not be seen as a victim I really was. Pushing away anyone close to me before they could leave me first, but worst of all, I felt like I didn't deserve to live anymore. As I sit in my tears, remembering how this one event spiraled into the darkest moments of my entire existence, I remember the gut-wrenching feeling of having to explain to my friends and family that cared about me what happened, and the feeling of being judged, just as I did the day that the police were called and ignored me as well. I wanted to die. I tried to die. And had it not been for me hearing my grandmother's voice while I drifted into what I thought would be a peaceful death, after swallowing what I thought was enough Tylenol PM to end my life, I never would have had the strength to turn on my stomach and make myself vomit until it hurt. But at that time, I was miserable, desperate, alone, and afraid of the entire world, and even myself. It's been 10 years of hell, healing, and hope that one day I would be able to tell my story and it will finally bring justice. So when I was contacted in 2022, I knew I had to tell it. For my then 4-year-old, now 8-year-old daughter, that I vowed to protect with my entire being. For Frederica, the most loyal friend I've ever had. For the women and victims I learned about along the way, but most importantly, for myself. Dear John Michael Hakeem Gibson, you don't deserve prison. Prison would be too good of a place for you. But since the death penalty is not an option, I pray that you never know peace, and that your soul will never return to this realm after it leaves. You are a disgrace and an abomination, and true definition of a monster. I hope that the judge finds it in her heart to make sure that you will never know freedom as long as you live.
Damn, shorty.
Good morning. I will be reading the statement on behalf of...
God damn, how many girls is it?
Good morning. Reliving the events surrounding this trafficking case has affected me both mentally and physically. Since the investigation and my testimony, I've struggled with severe nightmares and flashbacks that disturb my sleep and concentration. The memories of what I witnessed and endured continue to resurface unexpectedly, leaving me feeling anxious and emotionally overwhelmed. This trauma has begun to affect my relationship with my loved ones. Where I was once present
It was
and
12
engaged,
girls?
now I feel myself withdrawing, easily agitated, and unable to fully connect. My performance at work has also been compromised. Tasks that once felt routine now
Under $1.
don't feel the same. As my ability to focus deteriorates under emotional distress. I share this not as a complaint, but to give a voice to the invisible weight that many survivors carry. I'm committed to healing, and I'm grateful for the resources available, but I hope this statement provides a deeper insight into the toll this case continues to take on my life. Thank you for listening and for advocating on behalf of those who are still navigating the aftermath. Sincerely, Talicia Dewberry. And I have a statement on behalf of Jasmine Brown, which states, I wish him nothing but hell.
When we hit that first 1 million in sales in our first year of business, it was surreal.
God
This is definitely
damn,
going to be a
man.
thing.
Yo, dude, yo, fucked itself over. So they had been doing a lot of fucking. That's crazy. You better out selling dope, bro.
And now I'll be reading this statement on behalf of Kiera Adams.
And Your Honor, we state for the
Yeah, for
record, we
real,
spoke with Kiera Adams' attorney, Jacoby Hudson. He's given us permission to read the statement.
Thank you.
I'm writing this to respectfully provide insight into the profound impact that being coerced into sex work has had on my life and my family. I want you to know the severe emotional, psychological, physical, and social consequences that I have endured. Many days I want to give up, but I keep fighting. No one truly understands the pain that I have experienced and continue to struggle with in my life. I've been wearing an ankle monitor for over 2 years, which means I'm unable to take a simple bath, find clothes to cover it so people don't freak out nor judge me. Daily stress of making sure it's charged, adding weight to my leg, and has severely scarred my ankle. Being forced into sex work was not a choice, but a situation driven by bad consequences or just getting involved with the wrong guy. This experience has left me deep scars in every aspect of my life. The constant fear for my safety and that of my family is overwhelming. As faced with explicit threats of harm if I attempted to leave, the threats created a sense of terror that continues to haunt me and my family daily, making it difficult to feel secure even now. The psychological toll has been devastating, and I have struggled with severe depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, numbness, emptiness, and feeling like I am constantly being judged or punished. These mental health challenges sometimes cause me to break down, which left me unable to function normally or maintain stability in my life. The stigma attached to my past has compounded these struggles as I face relentless judgment from others in my community, workplaces, family, and friends. This judgment has made it incredibly hard in my life to secure stable, well-paying employment, as employers often dismiss me upon learning my history regardless of my qualifications or effort. My family has also been profoundly affected. The shame and stigma associated with my coerced involvement into sex work has strained our relationships, caused them significant emotional distress. I'm no longer close with many of my family members, and they no longer talk to me or want to be around me. They too live in fear of retaliation from those who once controlled me and threaten to cause harm to me and my family, such as shoot up my mom's house. Each day I'm faced with the task of trying to escape the cycle of fear, judgment, and economic hardships, which is very exhausting and challenging. I respectfully ask that you consider the immense challenges I have faced as a result of being coerced into sex work. Challenges that include ongoing mental health struggles, social ostracism, economic instability, and thoughts of living under consistent threats. These circumstances have shaped my life in ways I never could have anticipated, and I am working relentlessly to rebuild and move forward. I now have stable employment and previously enrolled in an online college for animation. I humbly request your compassion and understanding into your consideration of my case. Thank you for taking the time to read this letter and for considering my circumstances. I am grateful for the opportunity to share my story. Respectfully, Kiera Adams. And Judge, we have one more statement by Jordan Adams. She would like to read it for herself.
Sure. All right, Ms. Adams, if you'll come right up here, please direct all your comments to me, okay? All right.
I wound up in the company of these strangers during a dark time in my life.
Swing the mic over to her, please. Thank you.
Where they violated me, assaulted me, and attempted to market and sell me for the purposes of prostitution. Can you believe that after hours of rape and assault, I consider myself lucky? Because had they been successful, had my family not tracked me down, had Officer Yamians and his degree of skill and experience witnessing victims of human trafficking not recognized my distress and rescued me, I would have been further victimized on a regular basis for God knows how long.
This is the story of the one.
This is sad, yo. I'm ready to skip through this.
In my vulnerable state, I simply wasn't strong enough to save myself or even found value in saving myself. These defendants not only saw this and preyed on this, they further violated, assaulted, and victimized me and attempted to profit off of this vulnerability as if my body was a wholesale product they sought to make revenue from. I need you to know how much these events not only affected me in my life, but even the lives of those I love. These crimes go much further beyond just us women in this case, but the loved ones in our life as well. The past 6.5 years, I've had nightmares on average 1 to 2 times a week. My own daughter has woken me up from these nightmares. My girlfriend, family members. I've been told I sound petrified, probably because I am. In these nightmares, it's always the same. I'm held down, I cannot move, and their voices are laughing at me, telling me they're going to do whatever they want to me. I can't breathe, and I gasp, and I wake up crying. Like my mother and brother mentioned when they picked me up, I was utterly broken with a 1,000-yard stare. That didn't go away for about nearly 2 years after this event. I was catatonic. I couldn't be near or close to men. It was difficult to hold down a job. The flashbacks would often come crashing into my brain, solicited or not, to the point I'd have panic attacks and even cover my ears in an attempt to quiet their haunting voices in my head. The day these defendants chose to commit these crimes against me, they gave me a life sentence, and there was no mercy or consideration.
Dang.
And while I worked my butt off to successfully complete probation, win custody of my daughter, and work at nearly every major gun store and firing range in the state of Georgia to become a qualified firearm instructor in the areas of self-defense, I can tell you today that none of it has fully healed me from this violence and trauma.
I don't know if there will ever be enough time. On an everyday basis, I wear 4 to 5 blades, a stun gun, pepper spray, a full-size weapon, and 80 rounds of law enforcement grade HST. And my clients often ask me, is that necessary? And Your Honor, I say absolutely. Because I know what it feels like to nearly lose your life, and as a woman lose a piece of your soul and that you can never get back, to witness and encounter evil where there's no hesitation to harm you. I've seen it and survived it. I know today that I'm equipped and qualified to defend my life for others and to share this knowledge with others. Not only do I owe it to help others and their healing and to serve my community, I owe it to the girl that I used to be. The girl that couldn't save herself. But perhaps this step right here will offer me the healing I and these women in the community need from the offenses the court has recognized these people committed. Regarding sentencing, I'd like to reiterate that my nightmares and flashbacks and my sentence is only one of many. There were many, many other women who went unnamed during this trial. John Michael Gibson and his mother affected so many women, Your Honor. For God's sake, he pimped his own mother out.
Pimped his own mother out?
It's no less.
He pimped his mother out too? Jesus Christ. This is getting out of control. I want to see what happened when he got sentenced. When the judge handed down the sentence.
Not remorse on behalf of like I did.
Opportunity to speak. Not a day ever since I turned my.
I hate going to sit, right? Yeah, I know. I just want to see it. I just want to see it.
This hand. You ready? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, during the course of this trial, the court heard
he got
and
life
viewed
for
evidence.
It wasn't just prostitution. He got life. Rape is what got him life. He got rape charges, man. Got rape charges. Got 20 years to serve, confinement, consecutive to count 10. He got rape, life in confinement. Aggravated sodomy, life in confinement. Trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years. Count 23, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement, to run consecutive to count 22.
Demonstrating the very worst of human behavior toward other human beings. The jury verdict in this case reflects that the state met its burden in proving beyond a reasonable doubt that the diabolical conduct of the defendants occurred. The sentencing to be meted out by this court will be responsive to that. Mr. John Michael Hakeem Gibson, would you please stand?
No, she got 30.
Car insurance
It could have been a
used to
suspended
stress
sentence.
me out.
Maybe she got life all suspended by 30, but she ended up with 30.
Count 1, violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement, to run consecutive with count 10. On count 10, rape, life in confinement. Count 12, aggravated sodomy, life in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 22, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive.
I don't think he knew that shit was worth
with count
this
1.
much time. I think if he knew
Count
he had this much
23,
time for, he would have done that.
trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 20 years to serve in confinement
to run consecutive with count 22. Count 24 on the lesser included offense of battery, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 25, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 23. Count 26, pimping, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 27, pandering, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 28, keeping a place of prostitution, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 10. Count 29, willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent.
I know good and goddamn
with
well.
count.
He got back to that tear. His ass was in tears. You heard me? Yo, niggas cried after this, yo. I don't know how many people know that. But everybody I seen life, I told y'all this before. Every person I seen catch life came back to the tear crying. Like, you know, like real tears, like a 2-year-old. That shit crazy. But shit, you know what they say, man. Do the crime, do the time, man.
10. Count 30,
Yeah, Ron, that
simple
ain't no
battery,
joke.
merges into count 24, battery. Count 45.
That's what they do in Canada.
Possession of prohibited items by an inmate. 5 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive.
Yeah, it's the Diddy party.
With count
Welcome.
25. Conditions of this sentence. No contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, to include Diamond Irvin or their families.
I couldn't take 25, yo. I could not. See, this is the thing, yo, that people gotta understand, yo. When you cop out, you limit your post convictions. That's why you don't cop out to 25 years. Yo. Like cause you limit every post. You can't do nothing. That all you can do is get a sentence modification. That's all you can do. Like, yo, he can file for acquittal. He can file for a motion for retrial. He can file for more. Like, yo, you got more options when you go to trial and lose. You know what I mean? I just couldn't take 25 years, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I wouldn't be able to sleep good. I promise you, y'all, I would sleep better knowing they sentenced me to 25. Other than me just taking 25. Like, that's a long time, y'all, to just be taking.
You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road in Atlanta. You are to stay away from the Mezzo condominium, 2171.
I don't think he realized. You know, that's why, yo, it's important to know the law, yo. Like, yo, this is a prime example of the importance to know know what you're doing, yo. If you out this bitch trafficking drugs state to state with firearms and all time, you're going to the phase. If they ever catch you, you're going to the phase. Like, yo, you gotta know what you're doing out here, yo. If you want to commit crime, like a nigga say, yo, motherfucker, if you know you can only do 5 years, only do 5 years worth of crime. Yo, you understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, know what you're doing, man, because I don't think he ever thought in a million years the things that they was doing equaled up to life in prison. That's just my opinion. He could have known. But I just don't think that he'd have been moving like that, knowing that life in prison was on the table. I mean, if you can only do an 18-month sentence, yo, only do 18 months of crime. Not like, 18 months, like a straight 18 months, but do crime that's going to fit in that criteria. You feel me? So that way you ain't got to worry about finding yourself in these type of situations. Sell cigarettes or something. You know what I mean? Sell cigarettes, black and bows. You know what I mean? Don't be out there bitch trying to sell dope when you know good goddamn well you only got a year. You feel me? You better go out that bitch and squeeze you or something. Yeah, that shit crazy. I'm serious. Y'all know I be joking, but I'm serious at the same time, though, for real.
You are to stay away from the
No
St. George's Commons address, and you are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
Oh, he told? No reply? Oh, yeah, well, he got rape on his record, so, yeah. His paperwork is definitely dirty.
All right. Ms. Smith and counsel, please stand. As to count 1,
What's up, Tina?
violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement. Count 37, trafficking a person for sexual servitude, 10 years to serve in confinement.
Yeah, you're right.
To run consecutive to count 1. You're to have no contact with any of the victims.
Yeah, so she only got 30.
Including Diamond Irvin, named in this indictment, or their family.
See, she don't got no rape cases. That rape and that sodomy shit tied in with the RICO, that fucked them over real bad.
You are to register as a sex offender. You are to stay away from 737 Alfred Road.
Yeah.
The Mezzo, 2171 Peachtree Road. The address at the St. George's Commons, 9340. And the FIB, Fulton Industrial Boulevard.
Ignite the fairway.
With Fireball.
Yeah, she might not even get out that bitch. 30 years. She gonna do at least 22 on that bitch.
You may be seated. All right, Mr. Taylor.
Money making
On
mess.
count
What
1,
it is?
violation of the Georgia RICO Act, 20 years to serve in confinement, to run consecutive with count 9. Count 9, rape, life in confinement.
Damn, yo, life,
Count
that shit
11,
just sound vicious.
aggravated sodomy.
Life? Fuck.
Life in confinement to run concurrent with count 9.
Damn, yo.
Count 13, trafficking a person for sexual servitude. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 1.
Yeah.
Count 15, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. 20 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 13. Count 16, false imprisonment. 10 years to serve in confinement to run consecutive with count 15. Count 17, pandering by compulsion.
Consecutive, man.
10 years to serve.
Consecutive means running on top of each other. So if he got motherfucking life, and then they run count, if he got life on one count, and then on another count he get 30 years, and they run that shit consecutive to the life, that means he got life plus 30. Concurrent means running at the same time.
Serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9. Count 18, possession of cocaine. 3 years to serve in
Yeah, I
confinement
don't know how that shit work,
to
Joe.
run concurrent with count 9. Count 19, tampering with evidence. 12 months to serve in confinement to run concurrent with count 9.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Once she said life, my mind just went blank. Like I don't even know if it's time if he got life. You know, Cash Out called life plus 70. More than likely, he got probably the same thing, life plus 70.
20. Willful
Definitely could have
obstruction
stopped
of
the
a law
life.
enforcement officer by use of threats or violence.
It was 12 women.
10 years to serve, to run concurrent with count 9 and a suspended fine $300.
Yeah, why they got?
You are to have no contact with any of the victims named in the indictment, nor are you to have any contact with Diamond or Irvin or any of their families. You are to stay away from the Fulton Industrial Boulevard corridor.
I see, Tom.
You are to stay away
I don't even know what the
from
fuck sodomy is.
737
Sodomy is different from rape.
Alfred Road in Atlanta.
What the fuck is sodomy?
You are to stay away from the Mezzo address at 2171 Peachtree Road and the address at the St. George Commons, 9340. You register as a sex offender. And that is the sentence of this court. You may be seated. Mr.
I don't know.
Gibson, Miss Smith, and Mr. Taylor.
Right. I just said the same thing, Kathy. Like, she could have left that shit out. Like, they ain't touching those streets. I mean, you ain't got to worry about them touching those streets anytime soon. Like, if they was to ever get out, they probably would never go to them streets again anyway. Them streets probably don't even be they probably changed the name. The house is going to be renovated, knocked down. Like, it ain't going to be the same street no more.
Post-conviction rights that you have, all right? You may remain seated while I give you these rights, okay? You need to know that you have the right to seek post-judgment relief from your convictions, the crimes, by either making a motion for a new trial in this court and or filing an appeal.
See,
to a
this is what I was telling y'all about. Why you don't cop out the 25 years? You know, because you got more options when you blow trial.
Post-conviction rights that you have, all right? You may remain seated while I give you these rights, okay?
Well, okay.
You need to know that you have the right to seek post-judgment relief from your convictions, the crimes, by either making a motion for a new trial in this court and or filing an appeal to a higher appellate court. If you wish to file a motion for a new trial or an appeal, then you will need to file the said motion or notice of appeal with the clerk of the Superior Court of this county within 30 days of the judgment and the jury verdict, the final disposition. You may wish to more fully discuss this with your lawyers. If a motion for new trial is made and the court denies it, you will have 30 days from the filing of the order of denial in which to file with the clerk of this court your notice of appeal. You have a right to have a lawyer represent you on the motion for new trial and the first level of direct appellate review. And if you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, the court will provide you a lawyer and a transcript of your trial at no cost. With respect to felony convictions, you usually have a period of 4 years from the date that your sentence in this court becomes final to file what is known as a habeas corpus petition. On any misdemeanors, you have a period of 1 year from the date your sentence in this court becomes final to file a habeas corpus petition.
That's a motion for reconsideration.
And with that, they may be taken back.
That's what habeas corpus is. Habeas corpus is a motion for sentence reduction. They call it habeas corpus. Damn, shorty. Damn. That's deep. That's deep shit there. That's crazy. Did y'all see what happened with the Breonna Taylor case? They just found the officer, sent the officer to prison. Breonna Taylor. Not Breonna Taylor. Breonna Taylor. Yo, because yo, when you rape somebody, yo, that's almost like murder, bro. Like rape, is a very, very, very serious offense. It is like murder. You damn near taking a motherfucker soul. You know what I mean? Yo, rape ain't nothing to play around with. I fucking spell that girl name. Oh yeah, I spell it. Damn, yo. Damn, cash out. Should have cashed out. Should have cashed out when he had the chance, man. So I ain't need to do no news story on it. So he ended up getting 33 months, which is what? 224, 2 years and 8 months or something, 2 years and 7 months, 9 months. Yeah, he got 33 months. See, yo, I covered that case a long time ago, right? When it first happened, when I was on Facebook. And, yo, who really should have got in trouble, and it's crazy because he did get charged, but the shit got dropped. Yo, who was really at fault with the Breonna Taylor situation was the officers that filed them warrants. And they charged them at one point. But for some reason, they dropped the case. But that's who was at fault for the Breonna Taylor situation, yo. Breonna Taylor house shouldn't have never got raided. They lied. They lied on the warrant. Said that there was packages to our house and all type of shit. And the same people that executed the warrant didn't execute the search. So it was just so many mistakes made that led to the death of Breonna Taylor, which was fucked up. Yeah, the judge too. Right, the judge should have got in trouble too. Like, the warrant was flawed as a bitch, yo. Flawed as a motherfucker. And there was no need to go in there with that amount of force because they already arrested the fucking guy that they was looking for. So what they did was, I think they hit like 2-3 houses at the same time. But they already had the guy. So it wasn't no reason to do a no-knock warrant in the middle of the night on Breonna Taylor house when they already locked up the dude that they was looking for. That just was a tragic situation for real, man. That's fucked up, yo. More people should have got in trouble, to be honest. Yo, but it's late, y'all. I appreciate everybody as always. Salute y'all fucking with me. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all share the live. Don't forget Charleston White is a bozo and a sellout. Tisa Tells still lying. You know, that's nothing new. We might gotta do another Tisa Tells lives plus 6,742. I think that's where she at right now with the lies. Jane Dale was a disgruntled employee. You know what I mean? I think we all know that by now. And it's his fault that Biggie died. What else? What else we talk about? Charles White and Bozo, of course. Cash out, crashed out, like my man said. Like, I don't know. I don't think he realized that those crimes carried that much time. Like, I don't think he realized that, yo. You know, if you're gonna commit crime, yo, know what the fuck you doing, man. Straight up, you better read up on that shit. You out this bitch selling bricks. Man, look up how much time persons like how they doing the Diddy case right now, where they trying to find cases that match. Look up how much time will a person, not on your phone though, on somebody else's phone. How much time will you get for 35 keys in the state of whatever? You feel me? So that way you know if them people ever come, you know what the fuck you facing. You ain't surprised. You ain't got to tell on nobody. You fully aware. And if you look at that time and see, and that bitch say life and 30 keys, shit, you might gotta get 5 from now on. You feel me? Look, I can't do 30, man. Yeah, man, you look up how much they get for 5, maybe they getting 15. Maybe that's more, you know, that's more manageable. You feel me? I can do the 15. I can't do the like. Yeah, but I appreciate y'all as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. It's another day of Keep It G News, and I'm out.